Welcome to this special edition of Pimp My Team round 21. It's a big week. It's a week where a lot of you are using your last trades, and my advice is don't use all 4 trades this week. Don't burn them all out. You've got 2 months of footy left. It's going to be very dangerous if you have no trades to use. So let's get right into it here. Just wait for everyone to peel in here too. But we've got a fun edition here with Sheep coming up first. Doesn't know who to start, bench and emergency. Very tricky situation. Now, just a reminder too, if you do want to get into Pimp My Team, the link to the Discord is in the description of this video. Jump into Discord and go into Welcome Newbies, and that'll tell you how to get into Pimp My Team. Awesome. Good to see you're here too here. 51, Mighty Murf, you're up first. I'm glad you came early because if you missed it, it was going to be a long wait before I could go back. So for Mighty Murf here, let's see this team. So we're stacked with green dots. And I think the target this week is just getting as many keepers as we can get without burning out all the trades, basically. So Starling's a good spot. The middle forwards are fantastic. Edge back row, really good as well. We've got Wishart, who could be out for Munster this week, so keep an eye on that. Then we've got Ero, Karaz, Campbell, Talangi, Garrick. Okay, so really strong outside backs here as well. And guys, if you are here, chuck a message in. Chuck a message in the chat there. I'm keen to see who's around. For the bench here, again, so Tungo, Plath, Finu, Nikora, Ethan Strange, Gray, and Moretti. Okay, so you've got a strong team in terms of good numbers of green dots, which is good. 7 trades left is a really good position to be in as well. 447K is a great spot. Okay, you're in a good spot here, man. So let's see. You've looked at Plath and Finu into Yo and Cleary. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good pair of trades. Plath and Finu into Yo and Cleary. Okay, so that gives you Cleary as a starter, gives you Yo potentially on the bench or as a starter either way. I think that's a good move. The thing you have to keep an eye on here is that Wishart might be out as well. So what are we going to do there? With Wishart potentially out, Cleary goes into your starting team and you can potentially slide him back in your team and run a combination of Ethan Strange or Jai Gray or those sorts of guys. So use a loophole, which isn't a bad option. Who would I target if I was you for Wishart? I think that your play, and this is tricky because they do play at a different time of the round. Let me just double check the order of the games. You could look at potentially moving Wishart on for, good time. All right. You could move Wishart on for Dylan Brown if Wishart doesn't play. Now, I think Wishart will outscore Dylan Brown if they both play this week. But if Munster plays, add one more trade and go Wishart to Dylan Brown. So you've got some good trade suggestions here. Plath out, Finu out, Wishart out if Munster plays, and then Yo in, Cleary in, and Dylan Brown in if Munster comes back and plays. So that's the key there. I like those trades. Dylan Brown actually comes out number 3 as well. So if you guys go check it out after this, I released the halves ranking video. That has Dylan Brown in the 3rd spot, which is absolutely crazy. I've done the data analysis, and he is looking really good for the run home. All right, let's just see who we got here. So who's in the house? Roast. Yeah, Roast My Team has to come soon. In fact, Roast My Team is officially open. If you send your team to me on Instagram, so DM me on Instagram and send me a screenshot of you having downloaded and registered for TBC Live. It's a free app. I love it. It's called TBC Live. The link is in the description of this video as well. If you get TBC Live and send me your team on Instagram, then I'll roast your team, either via chat on Instagram or via a video, depending on how good or bad your team is. Okay, yo ABM, what's going on, my man? Oh, there's me. Good to see. Yo, hey, Chiana, bro. Hi, Longy. I've looked into Pluff, looked at that. Akatsu, good to see you, man. Richard, let's go. Sam, I appreciate the enthusiasm. I go to war for Longy. Cleary and Curran for Fogs and Haas. All right, Cleary and Curran or Fogs and Haas. That's a tough one. I'd probably try and find another trade and try and get Cleary and Haas, or not get Curran. I'm not a big Curran fan. So I'd try to find some other trades, but Fogs and Haas is a good option. Karaz, we'll talk about that. So Karaz to wing fullback and Strange into center. You could do that as well, but it doesn't really change your life too much because you got all these starters here. I think you could use Talangi in a loophole as well. That could be an option too, and see how he goes, and then potentially loophole using Gagai. That's an option as well. Time to lock in for the run home. I think Wishart rips Para new, and I agree. I think Para won't be able to tackle much in that game. Yes. Heaps of green dots. He's stacked. Yo. And hello, Kingite. Cool name. All right, let's go to the team here. So only Ducky in the house, man. Ducky's team, we've got Marnie, Watson, Haas, Yo. All right, we're stacked there. Good forward pack. Good halves pairing. Good back line. I'm pretty happy with this roster. Then the bench. Okay, so Sammy Walker. If you go watch the halves ranking video, Sam Walker actually fills in quite low, which is probably a concern for your team. Then Gray, Starling, Plath, Finu, Atoa Kamanu, Iro, and Hands. Okay. I'm going to probably rearrange some of the orders here. So I might bring up down from the bottom of the list here. Trades here, you got 5 trades, like 414k in the bank. So you don't have to worry too much about cashing out or anything like that. If I'm you, I'm probably looking at this stage, you could potentially keep Tokamanu. I know he hasn't been great, but the price he's at is a bit awkward. And you could hold on to him. I don't know, Finu. They're sort of in the same boat. I think Tokamanu has more keeper potential than Finu, but they're both a bit messy. Iro is a keeper for you. I'd keep him 100%. So I guess Plath, you could sell Plath, you could keep Plath. I think you need to find 2 of these guys to sell. And it's between Sam Walker, Max Plath, Samuel Afinu, or Stefano Tokamanu, or maybe Brendan Hands as well. So if I'm you, I'm probably looking at, you don't have Cleary. You have Yo, Haas, and Watson, so you're really good there. Back row is pretty good. I'm probably looking at targeting Cleary as the first option there. And then you've got Marnie already, so you don't need to do too much at hooker. Probably targeting Cleary, and then maybe targeting, I don't mind Gus Crichton for you. So if you sold, so let's say you sell Max Plath and Samuel Afinu, and you buy Nathan Cleary and Angus Crichton, I think that's a good pair for you. If you then threw in the extra trade, and I'm not sure, I don't think you'll have the money for it actually. I was thinking about maybe going for Fogarty as well. The other option here is you don't necessarily need the back rower. So you could potentially, Gus Crichton does help you though, because then you've got Fafita, Blore, and Gus Crichton. You don't have a backup second rower right now, and you really need backups because you only have the 5 trades left. Gus Crichton does that buy coming up though. So maybe we go Plath and Finu out for Cleary and Fogarty instead. I actually quite like that as well. That's an option you could look at. We could then maybe move Sam Walker to Dylan Brown. I think Walker, Plath, and Finu out for Cleary, Fogarty, and Dylan Brown is a good set of trades. I think you just have enough money for it as well. So that gets you 3 guys who are keepers, and that really strengthens your bench because then it becomes Starling, Cleary, Fogarty, and Brown. There's a lot of halves though. That's the problem, right? So you're stacking up with halves, which it leaves you a little bit vulnerable with the edge back row spot, but none of them have buys coming up soon. And you're pretty well covered in the other positions. So I like that trade a lot. I think you leave a Tokamanu in there. He has that potential as well. So that's my shout there. Let's just see any questions here. So Munster will be coming in, putting Wishart to 14. If he does that, then Wishart is a sell. Is Haas still worth it despite having a buy clashing with semi-final head-to-head? He is still worth it, but it definitely hurts you in head-to-head. And if you're choosing between Haas and Yo and you're head-to-head focused, I would choose Yo over Haas. If you're an overall focused coach, I'd choose Haas over Yo. So that's the choice there. I'm going to roast my team this week since I don't see much happening. You have trades now, though. You ran out of trades a while ago, but you're all clear now. And does Moretti back up on 50 plus? All right. Fine. We got a guest. Does Moretti back on 50 plus? 8 trades. Moretti, I don't think Moretti's going to score 50 plus. I would say probably more likely a 30. 8 trades left. Strange and Finer, Cleary, 230k cash out. I'll save the specific trade questions for the end, guys. And then Exhibit. Yo, we heard you like middle forwards. Yes, we do. Finer, KPP, and Wilson are all sells 100%. I agree with that. Yo, just set my team in a kind of awkward situation. Cool. So to get on Pimp My Team, by the way, guys, you just got to jump into Discord. Our Discord link is in the description, and go to the Welcome Newbies section. So that's the secret there. Needs edge. Yeah, exactly right. The edge is a bit light, but you could target Gus Crichton. It's just the Roosters do have a buy coming up soon. And the rest of the edge back rows I'm not super keen on. The other thing is you could target, I don't know, like there's guys like McLean, for example, who's a really good target as well. I think like a trade of hands to McLean, for example, could be a solid cash out, but it depends what we're seeing. All right. Hey, Longy, don't know if I should thank you because your house feed got me thinking. Should I get Fogarty with dollars for another gun? It's on Cleary. Look, it's just the numbers, right? So that's the stats. But we could potentially, I mean, the stats for Fogarty are really good. Cleary does have a bit more risk in him, but Cleary has that historical upside. So I'm targeting Cleary still. I just, when I do those rankings videos, they're more based on the data, and I input a bunch of things, and I try to sort of train the machine to be unbiased, essentially, right? So it's all stats based and it's inputs of scores and it's super unbiased. Biased Longy has Cleary over Fogarty, but the machine has Fogarty over Cleary. So we'll see how it goes. What's the Discord link? Let me just get that now, actually. I'll get you guys the Discord link. And that'll be easy. So Discord link is coming through in 3, 2, 1. All right, there it is. Discord links there. So just the most recent message in the chat. Why would you need a whole different play style for head-to-head? So the big thing here when we're talking about Yo versus Haas is I think they both miss one game on the run home. So Payne Haas, I think he misses a game in his bye round. I think he plays every other game because the Broncos are making a push for the finals. Whereas Isaiah Yo, usually Penrith, they rest all their players in round 27. So he'll be out for round 27. Now, the reason why there's a different approach for head-to-head versus overall is for head-to-head coaches, Payne Haas's bye is during their finals, and round 27 is actually irrelevant for head-to-head coaches. They don't care about it at all because no one plays finals in round 27. Whereas for overall coaches, you play around 27 and you're going to have a lot of other problems around 27. So Yo being out is going to be a massive issue. Whereas Haas being out is something that you could probably cover because you don't have too many Broncos players. So it's just a choice basically on when you want to cop a player being out. And we have a bit of certainty around it too. Who's a good keeper for the run home? 583K. At that price, you could look at Trindle for 507K. You could look at McLean from Penrith for 283K. Or you can get a bit more money and go to Dylan Brown, who I really like at 610K. Iro or Sam Walker, more of a keeper. I think Iro is more of a keeper. It's really reliable. Sam Walker, a bit up and down, not getting those big scores. Savage or McLean, that depends on whether you need center or wing fullback. So McLean is the better option in my view, but I might be getting Savage instead because I need wing fullback coverage. Any recommendations for a wing fullback, 650 or below? Currently have Dry Gray, KO Weeks, looking to get trade at hot body. I'm going to be doing wing fullback rankings tomorrow, so check out that video. That's going to go into heaps of depth on the top wing fullbacks. Scott Sorensen, a sell. I think he's a hold. I think he's going to pop off down the stretch, 100%. Playing head-to-head in the League of 6. First and second place in the league have a bye. In the first round of finals, elimination round, does everyone in the league play? It depends on the way your commissioner set up your league, but my assumption would be if it's top 4, it'll just go straight into a knockout. That's my guess, but it really depends on your league. If you send me a screenshot on Instagram of your league settings, I can tell you how it works. Discord link is there. Then hold Hughes or sell since Munster is back. I'm holding Hughes, but I just did a halves. Actually, check it out, guys, after this. So I did a halves ranking video. I talked about Hughes with versus without Cam Munster, and he's completely different. I'm still going to hold him because I'm low on trades, but he is a lot weaker. Too late to join? No, not too late at all. So I'll pop the link in this again. So if you jump into Discord and then go to, I'll type it in, go to the Welcome Newbies tab. It'll tell you how to get into Pimp My Team. So you just have to do a little upgrade and then you get into the Pimp My Team submissions. I'm working off that channel right now. So your submissions will come up. You can actually see that 2 people have joined since we started as well. So last week we had like 12 extra people join during this. So it's super fun. Jump in, 100%. That Discord link is right there. And you just got to go to the Welcome Newbies tab. All right, is Wishart to sell this week or next week? So he plays super early in the round. So you can wait and see. If he's playing this week, hold him. If he's not playing this week, sell him. Twali or Iro, more of a hold. Or I'd probably try to hold both, but probably hold Iro over Twal. Then hold is playing this week. Can I send you my team for comments? Yep. So that's all. Link in go to the description, the link, Discord, and then you go to Welcome Newbies. I wouldn't buy Turbo. I agree. He has a buy next week, and he has the Roosters this week, so I think he's going to have a tough couple of weeks. It's the final of the league head-to-head, always around 27, because I feel like I'm going to have many out. Usually, it's around 26. So usually the finals are around 23, 24, 25, 26. If the commissioner set it up well, that's what it's going to be. I think default is 23 to 26 for a 16-man league. So you're not going to play around 27. If it's 27, then you can go and yell at your commissioner because they stuffed you over. I think they can actually still change it, by the way. So just check if they can change it. Josh, Curran, or Fainu? Curran's good enough, but not super solid. You must get annoyed constantly telling people. No, not yet. It's a new process, so I'm all good pointing it out. And every time I say it, someone signs up. So I'm just happy that more people sign up. I think it's really fun. We get a bigger community because we've got like 1,200 people on Discord, which is absolutely crazy. It's like 1,200 people who love fantasy, and the game day chats go off. So if you go in there during the games, there's chats where everyone's talking fantasy during those games. It's good fun. KPP for Hugh. That's a really open question. Itokomanu is sell for Fogs or Curran? I'd go Fogarty over Curran 100%. And then thoughts on Wishart to Turbo. I'm not a big fan of Turbo, personally. I reckon we right in front of NRL Fantasy headquarters for more trades. I'm not saying no. I mean, we could do it. We could do it. Why is McLean the best cash out option? Just Penrith, etc. Yeah, so he's got that role at Penrith for a long time. 283k is good. He's looked like a good scorer, so he's got good tackle bust stats, good meters gained, all that sort of thing. So I like him as a player. I like his job security. I like him being at Penrith. I think they're going to tear it up down the stretch. But it depends what position you need. So if you need other positions, or if you just want to go to minimum price guy, you can get minimum price players, or you can go to Xavier Savage if you need a wing fullback or whatever it is. So I might be going Savage instead, but McLean could absolutely kill it. I'm planning on making 2 trades this week, but 3 if necessary. I'm trading out Plath and 1 or 2 of Finer, Talangi, and Drinkwater. Bring Cleary. We'll go to specific trade questions in a bit. So let me actually keep rolling through some of these team lists here, because we should probably do Pimp My Team. And then we'll get into more of those questions. If you want your team in there, by the way, I'll just pop that in again. Discord link, go to Welcome Newbies. So Titans on top. Let's see your team, bro. Hopefully you're in the house. We've got Starling, Watson, Haas, Yo, and then we've got Fafita, Sorensen. Looks a lot like my team, actually, this one. Tungo, Wyden, Garrick, Tedesco, Karaz. Good wing fullbacks, much better than my side. Then we're going into the bench. Blora is nice. Iro, Tokamanu, Fainu, Halasima, Hands, Manu. I mean, you hold Manu now. He's back soon. Guy Pierce Paul. Your trades is suggesting here. These are good trades. So Weeks, Nickel Clockstad, and Plath out for Haas, Cleary, and Yo. Okay. One thing I'm going to change here and maybe suggest, what's Kai Pierce Paul priced at? He's a bit too cheap, isn't he? Probably impossible. I'm a bit worried for you here because you've got 3 wing fullbacks. You have Garrick, Tedesco, and Karaz, right? And you have no wing fullbacks on the bench. You don't have any centers who can move to wing fullback. So I'm looking at this team and I'm a bit concerned because if Joey Manu's back next week, you're okay. But you're trading out KO Weeks and Nickel Clockstad. You're not buying any wing fullbacks. And so what happens next week is Manly are on a bye. If Manu's back, he comes into that spot and you're just okay. But the week after, the Roosters are on a bye. So you have Tedesco out, you have Manu out, and you suddenly have to buy a wing fullback, and you have 1 trade left after these trades. So that's your last trade, right? So I would change this pretty drastically. I like the trades. And if you want to go balls to the wall and go 1 trade left, you can do it. But what I'm thinking here is that we keep KO Weeks in your team. I'm not super high on him, but he's staying in my team for the same reason. So you keep KO Weeks. You still buy Haas, Cleary, Yo. You still sell Nickel Clockstad and Plath. But we sell Pierce Paul instead of KO Weeks. That's what I'm thinking there. If is every other position covered, you don't have a lot of half cover either. You're in a bit of a tricky spot there. So if you're short on cash, the other thing you can do here, and again, this is up to you, is you could replace one of Yo or Haas with Fogarty. It's a bit of a downgrade. Fogarty is behind those guys in my view, but he's still quite good. So You could replace Haas with Fogarty, for example, if you wanted to as well. But overall, I think just swapping weeks with Kai Pierce-Paul is the perfect play there. That's what I'm recommending to do. So, and then you keep weeks, and that means you have cover for wing fullback as well, right? Because then you got cover at center and wing fullback, and you're looking really clean. So that's my advice there. Let's just see any good questions here. I'll just pop that Discord link as well. If you do want to join, you can jump in. Let's see. Ponga or Walsh? I really like Ponga. So Broncos have a bye coming up in a few weeks. Ponga has a bye this week. I'm planning to target Ponga next week. That's one of my plans. I think he's a gun. I think he doesn't need to play super well to get good fantasy scores, so I like him. Henry or Twali stuck onto to hold. Probably hold. Ooh, that's tricky. Probably holding Twal over Henry just because Henry's role is going to be a lot less. Green, Munster scaring you. Yep, it happens. Yo or Fogs? Yo is the better player, but if the money saving does anything for you, Fogarty is really good as well. But I prefer Yo. I'm weak in mid and wing fullback. I mean, here's two mids to target. And then wing fullback, I'll probably go cheap and go cash out, maybe save for Ponga next week. But I don't think wing fullback is a massive priority right now. Is KPP or Finu a better hold for the run home? Probably Finu for dual position, but KPP, if he plays 80 minutes, is a better scorer. So bit of a coin toss. Depends how strong your middle cover is. Best captains, Cleary, basically this list here. Haas, Cleary, Yo. They're the ones that I think are the strongest options. Thoughts on Howarth? A bit expensive now. We were super hyped on him in the 200s. If he held the spot, and he's held the spot. So Howarth has been a stud. What's good, Longy? Starboy here. Good to see you, man. Vacation. No, not too late. Just jump on to Pimp My Team submissions. Just put your team in, and you're 100% in. As a cash out, do I hold Dom Young or sell? I think hold Dom Young. I think he's going to go on a run to end the year. So I like Dom Young. Do I think Drinkwater is still a keeper? Yeah, I think wing fullback is really weak. So I think it's not worth spending trades on wing fullback. Drinkwater is good enough. Trophy Greg is back. Love you too, buddy. Love you too. Is 4 wing fullbacks enough for the run home? I think it is. Yeah, 4 is good. Just keep an eye on your buys. If you have 2 players from the Broncos, the Roosters, the Warriors, all these different teams, it's going to be a problem for you. Thanks for the help. No worries at all. Trade Hughes to Fogarty. It's an upgrade without being a massive upgrade. I'd probably save it for next week. Or try to sell someone else instead. Got Starling, Grant, and Cook. Thinking of selling Cook for Ponga. Oh, nah, don't do it. Also, Ponga's on a bye this week, so definitely don't do that. How's it going? Shout out. Oh, Greg Eastwood, absolute legend. Do you guys remember that Greg Eastwood intercept? Only the old people will remember that, but that was clean. Thanks to Help Longy, first year and top 3. Oh, mate, bravo. You might be ranked similar to me. I'm about 220, so all you, buddy. You're making the calls, not me. And then with 8 trades left, rather Cleary, bum cash out. Use extra trade for 2 half-decent scoreable guys, Howarth and McLean. That's tricky. You want the scorers. It depends on me. I mean, with 8 trades left, you got a bit of trades to spare. So I'd probably go for the upside, Cleary. But if you're low on trades, you want scorers. So it depends on your team and your depth. If you have too many red dots already, then you want the scorers. We do with Greg and Greg Marzu. I think Greg Marzu is fine. Leave him in your team. Where do I find Pick My Team submissions? So if you go into Discord, pop the link in there. If you just go to Welcome Newbies, you have to click a link and become a supporter of the show. And then it'll open up on Discord for you there. So that's easy. Do you think Gray is still a hold? Yeah, for now, 100%. Wing fullback under 680. I wouldn't buy a wing fullback this week if you can avoid it. Hey, Longy, any news on the Trell bringing in Yo and Cleary, but after the halves vid, want Fogarty now? Sorry. I'm very convincing. That's the issue. Latrell, I haven't heard anything. I'm not super convinced he's going to come back, but the bunnies are looking all right, so maybe he will. I'll let you know when I do find anything out, but until then, I don't know what's going on. I think they're going to reassess in a couple of weeks' time, so not sure. But Yo and Cleary is really good. Cleary is better than Fogarty in my view. It's just the stats, the model, right? So I'm doing a lot of stuff to build automation into fantasy analysis and do some really cool stuff for next year. So stay tuned. It's going to be really exciting 2025. Wish you to Ponga next week is a great trade. Love that trade heaps. All right, Katsu, I know you're here. So let's get into your team, man. All right, we got Cook, Yo, Itokamanu. We're going to go and run a teams, by the way, and then we'll go into some trade questions later. If you do want to be in, Discord link is there as well. You go into Discord, you go into the Welcome Newbies section, and you can jump in. So for this team here, good hooker, strong forward pack. Hudson Young pod was massive for you last week. I hope you have him already and didn't buy him this week. Tokamanu is a little average. We'll keep an eye on that. KO Weeks is not a starting caliber half, so keep an eye on that as well. Backline's pretty good, pretty clean. Then the bench is good. Keeney's a good wing fullback to have. Brimson's not in the 17, so you're pretty clean there. And then the rest of the team is good as well. All right, plenty of guys I'm seeing that I could trade out here. So Max Plath is one I'd look at selling. Egan, you can stick with him for a bit. Finu, I'm going to sell as well. Cartwright, I'd sell. And then Keeney, I'd think about too. 5 trades left, 133K in the bank. Okay, so for you, man, let's see. For you, Akatsu, I'm probably going to go 3 trade outs, and you have a more traditional setup here because you've only got 100K in the bank. So we're going to have to do, usually when I do 3 trade outs, guys, it leaves him with 2 trades left. I think it's okay. So 3 trades out, I'm going to go 1 really cheap player and then 2 guns. That's what I'll try to do when I'm doing that. For this team, you really need the half spot strengthened up because Wishart is going to be a problem for you very soon. KO Weeks is a problem for you right now. In fact, the halves are... The team is good, but the halves are the worst halves pairing I've seen ever. It's been good recently, but it's cooled off. So who am I selling here? Wishart, I'm selling for sure. And then I think you could keep Weeks just for the wing fullback depth, I think. So sell Wishart, sell Finu, and sell Cartwright. So Wishart, Finu, Cartwright. And then we should have the money to go 1 cheapie and 2 upgrades. Now, you already have good wing fullbacks. So my target group here would be, if I'm selling Wishart, Finu, and Cartwright, I should have the cash to buy Casey McLean. So the Penrith center starting 280K. McLean frees up some cash. And then we go to Cleary. And the other trade, we need another half, to be honest. So Cleary and Fogarty is the ideal scenario. I don't know if you can have just enough cash for that. If you don't have the money for Cleary and Fogarty, then go Cleary and Dylan Brown, right? So selling Wishart, selling Finu, selling Cartwright, keeping Plath. So selling Wishart, Finu, Cartwright, and buying Cleary, Fogarty or Dylan Brown, and McLean. That's trades there. So you're in a good spot. Then I'll just keep rolling through a few of these teams here, unless you're here, Katsu. Here we go. Yeah, the Keeney and Campbell duo. Stacked. All right, let's go next. Wicked. Let's see your team. So we got Sterling. All right, good forward pack here. Good back row. Halves could use a bit of work. And then the back line is really strong too. KO Weeks sitting in there. He's a bit dodgy, but not a big problem. Then we've got the rest of the bench here. Okay, this is an interesting team. We've got a few pods in here that have gone all right. 850K in the bank. All right, but only 4 trades. I don't want to get below 2 trades right now. That's like, you can go harder than this if you want to. You can. If you really want to go down to 0 trades or 1 trade, you can do it. I'm not going to recommend it. So I'm looking at something, right? How can I make 2 trades to make a difference in this team? So if I'm looking at this team, I'm thinking, all right, you got pretty good depth across the board. The second row spot is light. So for feeder, Blore, and I guess we'll keep Finu as a depth piece for you. So I guess you got a bit of cover there. Willison's someone I'm probably going to sell. Saab he's got the buy coming up. I think he's someone you'll want to sell. Hands is a bit dodgy. Hughes is a bit dodgy. I'm probably thinking, and you can tell me what you think here. Wishart as well, we need to get rid of too. Okay, so I think we need to strengthen the half position again. So what I'm probably thinking is sell 2 of these players, and you can choose which 2, because they're all kind of a bit even to me. So Wishart, Xavier Willison, Sam Hughes, or Jason Saab, or Brandon Hands. Those 5 players, sell 2 of them. If I was picking 2, I haven't looked at Saab's numbers, if I'm being completely honest. But if I was picking 2 of them to sell, I'd probably be selling Willison. I think he'll get way less minutes on the stretch, and probably Wishart. So I'd probably sell Wilson and Wishart, and then buy Nathan Cleary and another gun, Isaiah Yeo potentially, or Jamal Fogarty, or one of these sorts of players. Angus Crichton, probably Fogarty. Actually, I'm thinking so. Cleary and Fogarty, that cleans you up pretty well, because then if you go Cleary and Fogarty, you're not worried about round 27. Fogarty will play. I think that's the play. So Willison and Wishart out, Cleary and Fogarty in. If Wishart plays this week, then you could sell someone else instead. You could sell Saab, or you could sell Hughes or Hands. It's your call on those guys. But yeah, I'd buy those 2. So I think that's an easy play. All right, let's just see. Oh, here we go. You're in here too. So you're thinking Willison to Yo and Wishy to Clear. mate, we're on the same train. Okay, exactly the same thoughts. In that case, I need to add some value to you here. So I've got to give you something that you don't know already. The loopholes. So for your team, we've got the Warriors and the Tigers playing first, and the Eels and the Storm play second. So for you, for loopholing, we're probably going to use Finu, and we could use Coruscant as well if we want to. Oh, you actually can't loophole. You don't have any red dots. All right, no loopholes can be done. In that case, I'm rearranging the bench a bit. I'm probably going to play... I would play Iro over... But so ditch Willison and Hughes, take them out. If you're trading Willison out for Yo, then leave Yo in that spot. Hughes, I would move off the bench. I would bring Iro into the bench. And Coruscant, I would bring in instead of Saab as well. That's my advice there. Because I think Saab won't score super well this week. He's up against the Roosters. They'll be solid. So your bench should look like Yo, Coruscant, Iro, and Finu. That's the play there. All right, let's go into the next team. And before we get into ABM, legend too. He's worked hard for this, by the way, guys, ABM. So give him some love. But let's just quickly, before we go through, I'll answer some questions. So Wishy to Ponga, we talked about that. Sell Finu or KPP for the extra 20K. It depends if you need middle cover. If you need middle cover, keep Finu, but KPP is a slightly better scorer. Made 2 trades this week. I went Plath and Aitken to Fogarty and Randall. I'm not a Randall fan, so I'd rather go Plath and Aitken to Fogarty and Dylan Brown, potentially, or Fogarty and even over Randall. I'd take Curran over Randall, for example, as well. Do I think that Hughes is a holder? Should I trade in someone like Yoa Haas? I think if you can trade Hughes to Yoa Haas, that's definitely the play. How do you join the server? So that's in the link. I just put it in the chat. So you go to that link. And then if you want to be on Pimp My Team, look at the Welcome Newbies section. So on the side, there's all these tabs. There's one called Welcome Newbies at the very top. That's the one that will tell you how to get on Pimp My Team. Weeks to Walsh this week or hold for KP next week. It's up to you. Do you think the Broncos are going to go on an absolute tear, or do you think Ponga's the better scorer? I think Ponga's a better fantasy scorer, but Walsh could go on a tear. So if Walsh is going to go on that tear, then get him this week. But I'm probably waiting for Ponga next week. That's what I'm doing. It's really a coin toss, though. It's totally up to you. Walsh could outscore Ponga as well. We don't know. That's sort of the answer. But they're both good options. Keeney and Campbell duo. Yeah, don't know them. 5 trades left must be nice. Too good. What do you think about Big JDB? I'm thinking he's a sell, but I'm not super desperate. Do I think Dane Laurie at 400K could be good? It's not necessarily. I think it's like 3 weeks now for Dylan Edwards, but there might be a rest here as well. You could do it. It's just he's not going to play every game for the run home, so I'm a little concerned. And no worries, man. Good to see ya. Then would 2 trades be left after next week's one be enough? It's really low. It's really low. It's not enough, but it could be enough. Basically, you have to look at these trades, and if you're making a trade and it's getting you a lot of points each week, then make the trade. But if you're making a trade it's only getting you a few points, then you better save that trade. So there's 2 different strategies. A lot of people are holding 4 or 5 trades, and then other people are burning through all their trades. I'm usually a burn through the trades kind of guy, but this year I'm leaning towards holding at least a few. It's just hard. It's hard. I'm probably going to end up with 2 or 3 after this week and just stick my team after that. Best cheapies for next week. Not sure, but this week, McLean, Savage. I still think Halasima is a good cash out as well. He played center last week, and you can go down the bottom to Jake Tungo is there. He plays. If you upgrade, that's the key there. So you got to go into Welcome Newbies, and you got to upgrade and become a supporter of the channel. and then it'll open up for you. If you do upgrade and you can't find it, that's okay. Just let me know afterwards on Discord, and I'll do a Pimp My Team for you later. I'll just do your team individually. Then, a bit risky having both Cleary and Yo. Yeah, that's the challenge, but I think their scoring is going to be massive for the run home. And we still have like 7 weeks left, so I think it's worth it. How many trades do you think you'll have after this week? Probably 2. I think probably 2, but really good cover. Trade Weeks or Strange for the C. McLean. Or a cash down for Yo. Probably Strange. Sell for McLean. I'd sell Strange and keep Weeks. My wing fullback's Weeks, so maybe you have a different setup, but I think Weeks is better. Who do I trade in for Wade Egan? I think I'd keep Wade Egan personally. Thoughts on Eson? Only a week. Not long enough, but otherwise I'd be interested. Wanted Dane Laurie as an expensive cash up the next 3 weeks. Do you rate it? It's risky, but it could work for you. And he could play around 27 as well. So risky with upside. Your call. If you like it, don't let me stop you. But personally, I'd rather go McLean or someone cheaper. I have 7 trades left max after trading this week. You are in a good spot. 7 is heaps. Joey Tarpanay, goodbye. Go extra. Yeah, go extra. Get one of the real top guns. Thoughts on Willison, Plath, and Wishart to McLean, Cleary, and Fogarty. Yeah, that's a good 3 trades. That's really good 3 trades. Have you recorded the Roast My Team video yet? No, but send me your teams on Instagram and send me a screenshot of you having TBC Live downloaded and registered. So you're going to have TBC Live. If you have TBC Live and you send me a screenshot, I'll do a roast to my team on your team on Instagram. Who do I trade? I might create a channel on Discord for it as well, actually. So who do I trade for Moses? Any of these options. Fogarty's a good one. Will Fogarty play around 27? I think he will. That's my guess there. Okay, let's keep going through these teams. So ABM comes up now. He is in a good spot here. So ABM, let's see your team, mate. We've got Cookie. We've got a really strong middle forward set. I think Carrigan is fine to hold on to, so you can stick with him. Fafita, Nakora. Again, Carrigan and Nakora are kind of pseudo keepers, but you can stick with them. You can trade them if you need to. Hughes and Cleary is a great halves pairing with good centers here with White and Garrick. Drinkwater, Tedesco, Kraz. This is one of the more complete teams I've seen so far. So this is a really good spot going onto the bench. Bench is good too. So Galvin, Starling, Wishart, we've got to pay attention to. Cartwright's obviously just a cash out. Then Fainu, Madison, Iro, Gray. You've already got the loophole set up with Fainu playing the first game of the round. So that's really cool. We've just got to keep an eye on Wishart, basically. Have you got any suggested trades? Yes, you do, of course. So Hands and Weeks out. Cartwright and Cleary in. Leaves you with 66K. I think for you, it's... Okay, so I just want to highlight a few things. Players that are going to have buys for you in the next few weeks. So next week is Manly. So you'll have Garrick out on a buy. The week after is the Roosters, so you're going to have Tedesco and Watson out on a buy. And the week after that is the Broncos, so you're going to have Carrigan out on a buy. And then the week after that is the Cowboys, in which case you'll have Drinkwater out on a buy. And there's also injuries that happen during the season as well. Throw in... Okay, none of these guys are actually out on too many buys over the next few weeks. So you got a bit of coverage you're going to have to work out at the wing fullback spot, right? Because Tedesco and Drinkwater are both out. I guess Garrick slides into that spot. You do have center cover with Iro. Gray, though, you can't fully rely on. Just leaves yourself in a bit of a tricky position. So I think instead of getting Cartwright, I'd recommend getting a scorer for that spot. So Hands and Weeks out is fine. Cleary's a good target. You've got 66K, so you can pay 296K for a player. I think it's a pretty easy call for you to go Casey McLean instead, or go Xavier Savage as well. Like they're 2 options at that price point. Halasima even is a point scorer at 240K. So they're your options there. I think that's the play to make for you. Other than that, I think your trade outs are fantastic. You're in a good spot. So easy going for ABM. All right, then I'll just quickly answer. So where do you send your team? So link is here. And then I just put the link in the chat there, and you go to Welcome Newbies. And you just have to go through that, become a supporter of the channel, and then you'll see the Pimp My Team section where you can send your team and you can get right in. So you're in a good spot. All right, Kaden up next. Let's go through this before I get to more of these questions. So, Kaden, let's see your team, mate. Errol, chill out. You back? All right, dog visit number 2. Let's go. So, wow, sassy. So we've got Starling, Haas, Watson, Yo, Nakora, Fafita, Hughes, Galvin. Okay, this is a really good team. You're in a good spot. Then the rest of the team, we got the bench. Simpkins a little dodgy, but he should be fine for now. Then we've got Plath, Sorensen, Talangi. All right, you really have a really deep roster, so you're in a good spot. 4 trades left isn't heaps. 332k is a good amount of money. Probably thinking I want to try and make 2 trades this week if I'm you. So what do we do? You probably want to trade some higher value players so we can get some really good keepers, is my advice here. You already have a great middle forward quartet here with Haas, Watson, Yo, and then, some good coverage guys on the bench here, like Finu, Plath, and Sorensen. So you're clean there. Your back row is pretty clean. Your half's pretty clean. Cleary's probably the target. So if we're selling 2 players, the 2 I'd probably sell. I think the backline coverage is worth keeping, telling you Nairo. I think Sorensen has upside, and I think he'd get hot if Penrith get hot. Coruscant's been a decent scorer, and your hook is spotted a little bit dodgy with Starling as the starter. And Simpkin, not that expensive, so that's pretty easy there. Then, Willison's probably one we could sell, and then maybe Plath is probably the other one we'd sell. So if we sold Willison and Plath, for example, we might be able to buy Cleary, and that's going to use up a lot of your cash. So I'm going to say Cleary and Dylan Brown. If you could afford Cleary and Fogarty, by the way, that would be ideal. But I think you'll be a bit short on cash. So go Cleary and Dylan Brown instead. So selling Willison and Plath and buying Cleary and Dylan Brown. I'll just quickly accept this. Market resolved. A lot of you guys are jumping on, so that's cool. Normal. Boom. Okay. All right, then. Lots of new teams coming through. Cool. That's sweet to see. So where are we up to? We've got you, CFA, hey, cool. F-Frame coming through, Dogs of War. All right, next up, Gun 40. And before we go to Gun 40, I'll just answer a few of these questions as well. So, who do I trade for Moses? Fogarty play around 27 years. I do. Eson, Sharks, only a short period of time he's going to be in the team. If I have enough salary, do I get Cleary? 100%. Go for Cleary, definitely, 100%. Where do you send your team? We mentioned that as well. So that's the Discord link here. It's in the chat. Welcome, newbies. Do you think RTS keeps fullback? Short period of time, Nickel Clockstad will take that spot back. So not worth buying. Haas, Keon, Fifi, or Fogs for captain. I'm probably leaning towards Haas out of that group. I think he has a big game against Dogs this week, and I think it's a close game, but I think Haas will dominate in this game. So that's my shout there. All right, Gun 40. Let's go into your team, man. So for you, Gun 40, the Skidders, we've got good forward pack, very good forward pack. Fanua Blake getting a lot more minutes now that Tohu Harris is out for the year. Then, Katoa. I'm a Katoa owner as well with a feeder. He's been a bit dodgy lately, but we'll see how he goes. Hughes, Galvin, Iro, Whiten. Okay, so the back line is really good too. Weeks is a little dodgy, but I'm not thinking it's a massive problem. Sorensen, Grant, Plath, Tokamanu, then Tungo, and some guys that we don't want to play. Okay, so you're already pretty low in terms of the bench numbers. You've got 4 trades left. The thing I'm going to call out here for your team is you're in a very light spot. So I've talked about some rosters before being quite deep. This roster is a little bit more shallow. So Halasima is a guy you don't really want to play too much. He should be a 25-point scorer when he plays prop. The issue is he's been playing center a bunch because they've had so many injuries. Sharp is a guy that you're basically never going to play. And then Hands is a guy that you ideally don't want to play either. So you've got Tungo as your spare player. And then you're relying on Tokamanu and Plath, who are a bit out of form. Hey, Grant, Sorensen. And then you've got, Weeks, for example, as well, who's a bit dicey too. But the rest of the team, the forward pack is really, really good. So what I'm thinking here, the only reason I highlight this, by the way, it isn't to roast your team. It's more to say 4 trades left. If you have an injury, so I'll go through these weeks, right? Like Haas has a bye coming up. Fanua Blake has a bye in the final round. Yo will get rested in the final round. Then Tigers have a bye. Cowboys have a bye coming up. On the bench, Sorensen may get a rest at some point. You know what I mean? There's a few players here who could stuff you around. Your buys aren't too bad though, but I would try and keep at least 2 to 3 trades. Now, with this money you've got left, you're probably going to go with a pretty standard cash down, cash up approach. So you're going to be selling one guy who's a mid-ranger for a cheapie, and you're going to be selling another guy who's a mid-ranger for a gun, and you get a cheapie and a gun, and you're set. So if I'm you, I'm looking at, ideally, I don't know if it's going to work financially for you. Ideally, you want to try and get Cleary, right? If you can get Cleary, that is the ideal scenario for you. Now, you've got a couple of options here. You could either, so I think selling Max Plath is a no-brainer, and then maybe selling Brandon Hands is the other option there. So let me just double check the numbers here on whether this will work. But my thinking here is I want to get Cleary, and then I want to get someone who can score points for you, because I think your bench is a bit shallow. That's all. So Brandon Hands is 400K, and Plath is 630K. So you get about 1.03 million from that. Oh, that leaves you so short. Okay, Cleary's 835K. Maybe you don't get Cleary then. This is a rare situation where I'm saying maybe don't get Cleary. I just think with your team being quite shallow and with you having not that many trades, maybe you steer clear of Cleary instead. And maybe we go a different direction and we do Plath and Hands out and we buy McLean and Fogarty instead. Now, that leaves you in a bit of a different scenario. You're going to have to rely on guys like Fafita, Payne Haas, Isaiah Yeo as your captain. I don't think you lose that much. Look, Cleary has those 100-plus games that these guys probably won't get. So that is the risk here. But he also has that risk of re-injury. He's going to get more of a rest, all that sort of thing. So this is a rare team where I'm saying maybe you skip Cleary. So Fogarty and McLean is my advice. If you do want to get Cleary instead, we're going to have to be creative with trades, and we're going to have to sell. I don't even know what we do. Amaya, give me some help here. What should we do? All right, another dog. Or we could sell Plath, and I don't know, Tokamanu is enough of a keeper for you. I think you want to keep him. This is tough. This is a really tough scenario. I think you avoid Cleary. I think you avoid Cleary. You go Plath and Hands out, and you buy McLean or Savage. Savage gives you wing fullback cover. You don't have any wing fullback cover. So probably Savage and Cleary in for Plath and Hands out. They all want the microphone as well. Guys, who's your favorite dog, by the way, of the two? Surely it's this one, little Amaya, or is it little blonde one instead, Ariel? All right, let's go into the next team here. So what we got? We've got Peter Valandi. All right, 5 trades left. What are you doing? 5 trades left. Then team's looking good. Good forward pack. Finu's a bit of a subpar keeper. Hughes is probably not a guy we want to be starting in the halves. Then Tungo, Garrick, Tedesco, Keeney, Campbell. I'm going to let you down. Then Drinkwater, Gray, Plath, Ponga. I love that you have Pong. That's cool. Iro, Eisenhuth, Geimer, and Guzetsky. Okay, so you've already got 2 guys who are out for the year, base price. You can't afford any more red dots, is my first thing I want to say here. So wing fullback is very deep for you. You've got 5 trades. That's a good spot to be in. Drinkwater on the bench. Yeah, you got heaps of wing fullbacks. Okay, so you don't have to worry too much about that. You need trades. That's the key. You need to save a few trades because you have such a shallow bench. So Geimer and Guzetsky aren't going to play again this year. Drinkwater will have a bye. At some point, Gray might get dropped for Latrell if he comes back. Ponga's out this week, obviously. Keeney may get dropped for AJ Brimson. Garrick has a bye. Tedesco has a bye. Watson has a bye. Haas has a bye. Fino has a bye. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be a few things that are going to throw you out, and you've only got 2 spare players. So what do? We probably want to target players who are going to be playing for you. I'm probably thinking your starting team is quite strong, so you don't have to go too crazy with it. You're strong at wing fullback, so you don't need to hold KO weeks. I've been saying hold KO weeks to other people, but for you, I think you don't have to. So if I'm you, I'm probably selling KO weeks and Max Plath. They're probably my 2 sells for you. And then you got 129K in the bank. So sell KO weeks and Max Plath, buy Casey McLean, 280K, good job security, a bit Penrith for a while, score well. So by Casey McLean and either Nathan Cleary or Jamal Fogarty or Isaiah Yeo, one of those types of players, the one you like the most. I'd probably go for Cleary if I was you. and then keep 3 trades because you're going to need them on the run home. So that's my advice there for you. Let me know if you're in the house, by the way. Bill. Oh, thank you. $2. I didn't know you could do that on YouTube. That's cool. So is Campbell and Olakau'atu to Walsh and Yo good? Yeah, these are different. So Campbell, I wouldn't be selling. No. Olakau'atu, definitely a sell. But I'd probably try and find someone else to sell instead of Campbell. Keep Campbell. He's gone great. Olakau'atu to Yo is a good trade, and then try and find another trade to make instead. But Olakau'atu to Yo is a good move because Olakau'atu's out for another 2 weeks. So easy play. Is Campbell a keeper? He is a keeper right now, 100%. Yeah. The Husky. Oh, she's the favorite. All right, cool. Amaya, that's cool. Cleary or Fogs for captain this week? I'd go Cleary, but it's up to you. Have a look at the matchups. The key is, right, we know the average scores, and they're averaging very similarly. But you need to go and look at the matchup and think, all right, Penrith up against the Dragons, what kind of game is that going to be? I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout, so I think Cleary's going to score really well. Whereas Fogarty, who are the Raiders up against this week? Fogarty's up against the Rabbitohs. Okay, so that could be a shootout as well. Fogarty plays last game of the round. It's a bit tricky when you buy a guy who plays last game of the round, but they're both actually good matchups. So totally up to you. Make a call. I'm probably going Cleary, but your call. Join Discord, but can't post anything. So you have to go into your profile, I believe, and set up your profile with your team preference or something like that. If there's an issue, just DM me directly. If you can't figure it out later, I'll help you out later. Campbell to keeper. All right, 2 trades for Angus or 1 for Brown. Sorry, just on joining Discord too. I think there's a channel up the top, not Welcome Newbies, one of the other ones you've just joined or whatever it is, that will tell you how to get through it. 2 trades is just because we had a few bots joining and that sort of thing. 2 trades for Angus or 1 trade for Brown. I'd probably go Brown, I think. Like Angus is a slightly better average, but just use the 1 trade and save it. Just uploaded my team Discord. Is it too late to be shown? No, you're still in it. So see this? 14 new messages. 14 of you have joined during this Discord. This is going to become a long video. I'm going to have to start pre-doing this or something, but yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. It's a smaller group, this one. The Teamless Tuesday is a big video. This is a more chilled out video. Thoughts on my team possibly getting Campbell to help with my halves and wing fullbacks. Let's just go back to your team here, Gun, because you've got, so you can see Green, by the way. So Gun 40 is a top tier supporter. So he's my favorite, basically. So when you get to choose, you can choose Cheapy, Mid-Ranger, or Gun. If you choose Mid-Ranger or Gun, you actually get more priority and more access. Whereas Cheapy, it's just more a bit of a chat, and you get in the Pick My Team. So yeah, try and go for Mid-Ranger or Gun if you can. But Gun 40 has definitely done that. So for your team, Campbell, half wing fullback. I don't think you necessarily need to. I think doing the cash out is more than enough. You have, Campbell has some injury risk, and you don't want any more injured players in your team. So yeah, I wouldn't do it. I would stick with the original trades. Use the cash outs. Maybe get Savage if you want to strengthen that wing fullback, and we're getting Cleary already for you anyway, or Fogarty, one of those guys. Then let's keep rolling through here. So Dogs of War. Let me know, guys, if it's your team. Let me know when you're up, and I'll talk to you about it as well. So Dogs of War, got a good team. Harry Grant, Watson, Haas, Tarpanay. This is an OG team here. Fafita, Madison. I reckon you've been playing for a few years because a lot of these names used to be OG fantasy guns. Then Cleary Hughes, Cleary's captain. That's nice. Farmworth, Bo Firma. All right, these are post-trades. Post-trades team here. Kraz, Garrett, Campbell. This is a really strong roster. Bench, Galvin, Iro, Starling, Olakau'atu, Red Dot, McLean, Whiten, Hands, and Sharp. Your trades, I think I'm going to like these trades, to be honest. So KO Weeks, Max Plath, Samuel Afinu, and you're getting Cleary, McLean, and Firma. You're getting 2 centers there, which is interesting. So let's just keep an eye on that. For the wing fullback spot, you've got Karaz, Garrick, and Campbell. And then do you have any cover at wing fullback? No cover at wing fullback. And then 4. Is that 4 trades left? I don't know. I think you need to, instead of McLean, I think you're better off getting Xavier Savage. And he's at a very similar price point. Xavier Savage. So you could also go like Mad Dog, like Dane Laurie, but I wouldn't do that. But yeah, probably go to Xavier Savage, 290K. The reason for that is that Ruben Garrick is out with a bye next week. And the issue for your team is you'd come into next week and you actually have no cover at wing fullback. So you'd be short of wing fullback and you'd be forced to make a trade to cover that. You don't want to be doing that. So Xavier Savage instead of McLean. Savage goes well when he plays with Fogarty. He's really average without Fogarty. But when he plays with Fogarty, he's quite good. So close to a 35 to 40 average. So yeah, just replace that McLean pick with Savage. It strengthens up your team. It diversifies because you already have Bo Firma coming in. You already have Iro at center as well. Jack Whiten too. Like your center position is really strong. So just get Savage instead. Other than that, I think you're in a good spot. Then next up, Ephraim. Ephraim, you're out, mate. So let's see your team here. So for Ephraim, we've got good forward pack again. Really strong. I'll do some questions in a bit as well, guys. And just remember, if you want to be on Pick My Team, jump into Discord and go into the Welcome Newbies section. That's the way to get in. So 14 people have joined during this live, which is wild. So we'll see if we can double that. But Reed Marnie, Connor Watson, Vanilla Blake, Payne Haas. Okay, good team. Madison, the starting spot, is interesting. Then we're running Hughes, Galvin, White, and Iro, Drinkwater, Tedesco, Garrick, some buys. We've got to keep an eye on that wing fullback spot. Then we got Blaze, Finu, Plath, Kai Paul, Simpkin. All right. So a couple of interesting things here. Guymer, obviously, we've got to keep an eye on. He was a cash out, so him being a red dot is okay. Rest of your bench is pretty deep. It's pretty solid. You got 6 trades left, 385K in the bank. You're in a really good position there then. Okay, so we can use, if we want to use 4 trades, we could. Probably safer to use 3 trades, I think, or maybe even 2 trades. But for your team, in terms of the starting side, there really isn't any gaps. Starting side is fantastic, locked in. It's just about consolidating the bench now. So Talangi, Finu, Plath, and Kai Paul with Simpkin and Tungo Gray is a pretty average bench, but your starting team is fantastic. So what do we want to do here? Probably want to start consolidating this a bit. With the money you have in the bank, we can make some really good trades here. So I'm thinking we keep Blaze Talangi. There's a chance that Blaze could get fullback at some point. I don't know, he covers center wing fullback. You know, you need that wing fullback coverage, and you're going to have Tedesco and Garrick on buys pretty soon. So you're going to need to start Blaze in the next couple of weeks. So Blaze needs to stay in your team. Gray, you can't fully trust because Latrell could come back, but he could also be that cover option for you too. So we're probably going to sell Finu for 544K and Plath for 630K, and then maybe Kai Paul 573K. So if we sold these 3 guys, we have about 1.6, 1.7, 1.75 million. Then we throw in 385K. We're looking at about 2.1 million to spend. So with 2.1 million in the bank, Cleary costs 830K, so we can get him. So Cleary knocks us down to about 1.3 million. And then for 1.3 million, we can go, there's actually a few options here. We could take, you'd actually be pretty close to getting Dylan Brown and Jamal Fogarty, for example. Or maybe we target Isaiah Yo. You don't have him yet. So maybe target Isaiah Yo. There's a few options there. You could go cheaper and just go McLean, save a bit of cash as well. That's an option too. But I think, selling Finu, Plath, and Pierce Paul. Or maybe instead of selling one of these guys, maybe we keep Finu and we sell someone else. Maybe we sell Simpkin instead, because Simpkin sort of run his race for you. And you got Hooker covered now as well with Watson. So maybe instead we keep Plath, right? And we sell Finu, because I think Plath could go back to lock and he could be solid. Finu is also a guy you could keep, but Plath is a better scorer. Pierce Paul you can keep too. Up to you. So let's say we sell Finu, Pierce Paul, and Simpkin. Well, or we can sell Finu, Plath, and Simpkin. You have to choose between Plath and Pierce Paul. It's a bit of a coin toss for both. But sell those 3 and then buy Cleary, either Dylan Brown or Fogarty or one of those sorts of guys, and then Casey McLean or Xavier Savage, one of those types of guys. Probably Casey McLean. So that's the advice I give you there, Ephraim. Hopefully that's useful. I'll just quickly... so Yeah, definitely. So I put there was a promo last week. If you got a certain score on TBC Live, you got into this as well. So your team, I put it in the chat. It'll be sent by me. I think it's in like 5 teams time-ish. Amount of trades we should have after this round's trades. Ideally, you want to have 4. Ideally, I won't have 4. I'll have maybe 2. So you don't want to go below 2 is my big thing. But ideally, you want 4. If you have more than 4, you're bloody stacked. Is Blore or Walker a buy? Blore is solid, but I wouldn't buy him. If I was going to buy someone at that price, I'd go for Dylan Brown or I'd go for Braden Trindle, one of those types of guys. Should I get Yo or Fogs? My forwards are Haas, AFB, Watson, Poole on bench. Probably Fogs. I think Fogs will play more games for you. But Yo is the better fantasy player, so kind of up to your call. Then do I trade out Hands or KPP? Sell Hands before KPP, I think. Sam Finer, decent. Yeah, he's decent enough. So Samuel Finer never scores 50 plus. That's the problem. So he scores 40 to 50 a lot of the time. He relies on some attacking stats as well. So I'm not a big Finer fan personally for the run home. Yeah, cool. So let's keep rolling through, guys. Remember, get on there. You can jump on Discord and you can become part of this too. So when I set my team, yes, you can. Chiadabo. Okay, so thinking of these three trades, what do you think? Let's see this. So Cleary Yo versus Cleary or Fogarty. All right, Adam's G spot. Adam G. So we got Cook, Haas, Kolomatangi. Yep, good forward pack, good halves, good back line. I like Dom Young. I think stick with him. Then the bench is good. So Starling, Plath, McLean, Pierce Paul in the loophole, Talangi, Multalo, Fairlongo, and Sipley. This leaves you with trades of KO Weeks, Samuel Afinu, Stefano Tokamanu out, and McLean, Cleary, and Yo in. Yeah, these are good trades. These are really good trades. So I think these are fantastic trades. Does leave you with one trade though, right? So it leaves you with one trade, which is a bit dicey. What's Sewer Fairlongo worth right now? Because I'm thinking maybe you'd be better off selling him instead. 456k. Okay, he's a bit cheap, which doesn't help us much. Then Sipley's pretty cheap as well. Multalo, we're gonna hold on to him. Sell. I'm just thinking going down the one trade is a big move. It's a very big move. So Weeks, Finu, and Utokamanu are guys that you can kind of rely on as bench players. Whereas like Sipley and Fairlongo are probably not guys you can do that. I think these are good trades. I just think Yo is the better player than like Fogarty. So you're asking about Yo versus Fogarty. Yo is the better player than Fogarty, but Fogarty is probably more likely to play around 27 than Yo is. And your team's going to be in a real troublesome spot in around 27 because there's going to be a few guys who get a rest. So I think your trades that you got here are probably the best. I think Yo will outscore Fogarty by enough to be worth buying instead. So yeah, these are good trades. 3 Penrith players. I think they're going to want to go on a tear on the run home. Just one trade is tricky, but I think it's a good move. Then, here you are. So help me for the run home. Let me know what you think here, but I think those trades are good. I think they're really solid. It's just if you could find another way to maybe keep a Takamanu, for example, who's 566k, and maybe even replace Yo with Dylan Brown and sell someone worse. So sell Fairlongo or Sipley instead, who you can't really rely on. So one of them for Brown and then keep Tokamanu. Because I think Tokamanu could be solid for the run home. He could heat up again 100%. Right, then, the good questions here. Let's see. Trade Preston or Olakau'atu for Haas. I'd sell Olakau'atu first. Only for PM. I need to get to American politics. That's the key. I'm just not old enough. Sell Weeks or Finu. Depends on the coverage your team needs. I think Finu is better than Weeks, but Weeks is wing fullback. So for me, I'm holding him. What to do with Terrell May? Already have Keon, AFB, Haas, only 2k in the bank. Sell him for another position. Maybe sell him for Dylan Brown, or you could keep him, see what happens. I could do one trade, Platt to Cleary. For you, I think that's actually better. Yeah, go Platt to Cleary. Then you save yourself 3 trades for the run home. And you can keep Weeks, Find and Tokomani. They aren't inspiring options, but your bench is still pretty solid with those guys. And you've got loophole options. I think that's the play. Yeah, Plat to Cleary is a good move. So yeah, do that. Good shout. All right, CFA Hey. Let's see. G'day Longy. Targeting Cleary and Yo this week, but could make 4 trades. Don't know if keeping Carrigan and Nakora as cover is any good. Makers use them for trades too. Yo, Crichton, Grant, etc. Right, wing fullback has been a disaster this season. Don't think I can get a keeper with my trade priorities and numbers of trades. Yeah, I think ignoring wing fullback is an okay strategy. No worries. Happy to be helpful. It's all good. Chair from New Zealand. I use chur all the time, actually. It's a good phrase. Okay, good rank. So 9K for your first year is great. My first year, I came 12,000th. So if that's anything to go by, there you go. But no one made content when I started playing. So you had to learn everything by yourself. It was pretty hard. So for this team, good green dots, good forward pack. Wade Egan's a little dicey, but he got a good score last week, so you can roll with him for a while. The back line is, it's streaky. It's very streaky, but wing fullback, like we said, not super important. Bench, okay. I think Marzu is going to end up being a starter in your team, so that's not a problem. What are we thinking here? You got 567K and you got 7 trades. Okay, you're in a good spot, man. You're in a great spot. So what am I going to do here? Probably thinking for this team. By the way, guys, shoot through, while you're watching this, shoot through your ideas. So if you see a team and you have ideas for what they should do, shoot through your ideas. Because I actually am thinking about expanding our team as well. So if you think you're a bit of a fantasy analyst and all that sort of thing, and you have good ideas and I see them, who knows, you might become a part of the casual athlete. So for this team, heaps of cash to use. Okay, we probably make, you got 7 trades. We can make a bunch of trades if we want to. So 567K. I'm probably thinking that we sell. I think it's time to sell Nathan Brown. I think it's time to sell. You could sell KO Weeks as well, or Strange. Probably sell Nathan Brown, Ethan Strange, and no, starting team is good. Starting team is good. So Nathan Brown, Ethan Strange. I'm just trying to figure out how much I trust your wing fullbacks. That's the key question. I'm thinking KO Weeks because you have backup in Marzu already. So if we sell, let's look at these prices here. So you got 567K. Strange is worth 526. So you're looking at about 1.1 million. And then Weeks is about 582. So you're looking at about 1.7 million. And then Brown is 500. So about 2.2 million you got to play with if you use those 3 trades. Leaves you with 4 trades for their own home. It's a pretty good position to be in. So 2.2 million. First cap off the rank, I think we get Cleary. I think he's that best captain option. So if we get Cleary, that leaves us at about 1.4 million. And then for 1.4 million, we can pretty much do whatever we want. I'm thinking you get a combination of these players, right? So at 1.4 million, you pick one of Isaiah Yo, Jamal Fogarty, probably one of those 2 guys, Isaiah Yo and Jamal Fogarty. Pick one of those 2. And then the other trade, maybe get like a Dylan Brown or someone in that category as well, Josh Curran, one of those types of players. So selling Strange, Weeks, and Brown, buying Cleary, Yo or Fogarty, and Dylan Brown. That upgrades your team massively. And this is actually a really strong side for the run home. Wing fullback's really dodgy, but I actually don't think it's worth investing in too much for you. So stick with those guys, use your loopholes, and you'll be in a good spot. The other thing is, what game of the round do the Raiders play? Because you can do a nice loophole here too. So Raiders play last game of the round, but the Warriors and the Tigers play first. No one from them. All right, here we go. So what I would do with your loophole, and just message me later if you need more help with this. But Blaze Talangi, he plays in the second game of the round, so he plays really early. So I'd move Blaze back to where KO Weeks is and move Weeks into where Blaze is. Now, if Blaze scores well, sitting on your bench here, and you want to take his score, then you can move Marzu into your starting team and move KO Weeks back to the bottom and then it'll mean that Marzu won't score in your wing fullback spot, and it'll go to your bench and it'll search for a wing fullback, and it starts here and it goes no, 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 yes. It will take that score and bring it into your starting side. So do a loophole, and then it means you get the best of both worlds with Blaze and Weeks. Just shoot me a message if you need more help on that. But that's loopholing 101 sort of stuff that will definitely help your team too. All right, let's just see any good questions here. Laurie over McLean, you could do it. It's just a temporary play. But he has a good scorer. Weeks plus Collar. We'll do trade questions at the end. I've uploaded my team on Discord. Welcome newbies on Trade Talk. So if you go to the Welcome Newbies section, so it's in these sections. It's called Welcome Newbies. I think it's that one just there. Welcome Newbies. That'll tell you how to get into Pimp My Team. Then Cleary, boo. Yeah, you can get Fogged if you don't like Cleary. That's easy. Strange for Cleary. Good shout. Yes, that would be sick to do. Work for the casual athlete. Yeah, it's a good time. Then have you done my team yet? I don't think I've gotten to your team yet, Riley. So I think you're all good. SRL Storm game. How'd you go? You get the win? SRL, by the way, guys. Really good comp. I think I have it in the link to this description. If not, just shoot a message in trade chat and ask for SRL. Or there's actually a channel in here as well. It's called TBC Live SRL Chat. The SRL is a simulation rugby league comp where they have this really cool thing where you build a player and then they simulate rugby league games and your player develops over time. So it's pretty sick. It's really fun. Longy, are you coming to Vegas? I think I should, right? Definitely should. Please explain the loophole. Yeah, so I just explained that one. But you basically, if you have a red dot in your starting team, I'll make a longer video on this actually. I'll make a video for you guys probably on loophole strategy. But if you have a red dot in your starting team, then it just means that if a player on your bench plays, they'll come into that spot, but they have to be the same position. So that's the key. This is my team. All right, yep, cool. Let's get into your team. No such thing as information overload. So let's see. I put in 2 trade ideas. The first one, it doesn't leave me enough for a gun wing fullback, which I have made myself believe I need. I could go for a cheaper on an edge from like Crichton to Sewer, but I really like Crichton. I could also go for mid as well. I need a mid edge for the Broncos buy. Also, I could go and use my last trade to trade away Jerome Hughes, knowing that Munster will be back soon, and get Walsh this week. Or Ponga next week, knowing that Pong is on the bye this week. Give me your best ideas, Longy. Or the second one, with going down to Trindle instead of Dylan Brown, allows me to get the hammer and still get Cleary and Crichton like I wanted to. And it allows me to keep Jerome Hughes. P.S. I'm fine with max trading. Okay, Mad Dog Max Trades. Let's do it. All right, let's see this team. So, clean roster, really good forward pack. Your forward pack's fantastic. The halves could use a little bit of work with Katoa, but then the back line is pretty strong too. Bench needs a little bit of love, but we can sort it out. Joey Manu is a gun wing fullback, by the way. So I think Drinkwater, Campbell, and Joey Manu for the run home is actually a good set of wing fullbacks. So I don't think you have to stress too much about wing fullback. I'm not fussed about Walsh for your team. Broncos have a bye coming up pretty soon as well. And when Broncos have that bye, you're going to have Payne Haas out. You're going to have Xavier Wilson out, unless we trade him. Fletcher Sharp out. And then potentially anyone else who's injured or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. All right, 4 trades left, 543K in the bank. 2 options here. So Strange, Weeks, and Katoa for Brown, Cleary, and Crichton. Or the max trade. So Strange, Weeks, Katoa, Willison out for Trindle, Cleary, Crichton, and Hamaso. I'm a bit nervous for you in terms of max trading. You could do it, but it's just a hard one to justify. I'd probably be leaning towards. Is there anything else? So I'm looking at this. Right? I'll talk you through my logic here. I'm looking at Strange and Katoa out, and I think they're both good sells. KO Weeks at wing fullback is sometimes a good one to hold. So Brown, Cleary, and Crichton are all good buys. So going back to your team, I guess you have other wing fullback cover anyway. So you've got Blaze and Manu, and you've got Drinkwater and Campbell. So you're kind of all right in that spot. I think this set of trades is better. And I don't think you necessarily need to get a gun wing fullback. I think if it comes down to it and you cop an injury in the next few weeks, you can trade that player to a gun wing fullback. And then at that point, Ponga is going to be available, all these other guys. But these trades here, I don't mind them, but it's Trindle and Hamiso instead of Brown, right? And I think Brown is better than both Trindle and Hamiso. So for me, I think this set, keep yourself at least one trade. So Strange, Weeks, Katoa out for Brown, Cleary, and Crichton is rock solid, very strong. That boosts your edge back row spot. Your forward pack has a lot of cover. Your halves will have cover. Your centers definitely have cover. Your wing fullback has a bit of cover. And hooker has cover as well. Yeah, no, I think that's the play. So first set of trades are awesome. You didn't overthink. Definitely not information overload. They're really good trades. So I'd go the first set 100%. Let's just see too. If you said anything here, yep, up to me. First trades. So Strange, Weeks, Katoa out, Brown, Cleary, Crichton in. They're your trades. That's rock solid. No worries. No worries. Happy to help. All right. So let's see. Yeah, lots of people jumping on Hammer. So we talked about him last week a bit. He is one where I said he's a great fantasy option if you think he's going to score a try every week. He does score a try every week. So he's a good option. But if he ever doesn't score, his score is going to be really low. So without tries, he averages really poorly. But he scores so many tries that you don't have to worry about it too much. So you're making a big bet on attacking stats. And I'd rather get more of a base stat guy or get someone cheaper and just sort of save the money. I'm not the biggest fan of wing fullback. That's the key. Feels sketchy is exactly right. Yeah, it's a bit dodge. Ponga, on the other hand, is actually a genuine top gun wing fullback. So I'd go Ponga over Hamiso next week. All right, Riley, you're up. You're in. Good timing. So your team here, good forward pack. Plath we can consider. Halves pairing is good. Centers are good. Wing fullback is good. Then the bench, Starling, Tungo, Iro, Blore, really clean. We've got Hands, Sharp, Simkin, Dylan Edwards. Okay, you can hold them with Dylan if you want to. Then we've got Plath, Simkin, Hands out for Cleary, McLean, Tommy Turbo. I'm not a big fan of buying Turbo, right? And I'm going to talk from my own personal. You can get Turbo. Let me just clarify. When I sort of say I don't like a certain player, there are certain players where I say don't buy them; they're bad, and there are other players where I'm more saying I'm not a fan of it, but if you like it, do it because it could work. Turbo is in that second camp. So for me, he's got the bye next week. He's got the Roosters this week, and he's got that injury history. Not normally a massive fantasy scorer as well. So he scored 90 last week. 2 tries, 3 try assists. He's not going to do that every week, right? So I don't love Turbo as a buy option. I think he's a one that I'm pretty happy to skip. And if I'm you, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I'd probably rather Plath, Simpkin, Hands for Cleary, McLean, Turbo. I don't know if you need the Simpkin to Turbo trade necessarily. I don't know if you need McLean either, to be honest. Like, you don't really need to cash out too much. I'd probably try and reduce to 2 trades because you're pretty low on trades. You're back. Cool. Let me know what you're thinking here, but I'm thinking maybe reduce to 2 trades. I'm not a big fan of Turbo. If you don't get Turbo, I think Dylan Brown's a much better scorer, for example. So if I was you, I'd probably go Plath and Hands out for Cleary and Dylan Brown and just skip Turbo altogether. That's what I'm putting in. I'll have a look at Jahu's suggested trades as well, but I'm thinking Plath and Hands out for Cleary and Dylan Brown is a good move. That's probably my favorite move for you. So that's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking here, though? Because Turbo, we talked about Turbo before, but Turbo's not a Dylan Brown fan. Okay, that's cool. Then in that case, I would replace Turbo with Fogarty. Use the 3 trades, replace Turbo with Fogarty, or replace Turbo with Yo. Fogarty or Yo. They're 2 A1 keepers. So replace Turbo, Fogarty or Yo. Don't worry about wing fullback. You've got a good set of wing fullbacks already. I think that's the key. Mohammed's saying same thing. Yes, Fogarty. Not a fan of Tommy. Good call. Not Dylan Brown. All right, there we go. Yo. So replace him with Yo, and I think you got a good set of players here. You'll need the money, so you'll need to make the 3 trades to get Yo. That's the key. The only reason I said Dylan Brown was it would save you a trade, but Simpkin and McLean is a good cash down as well. All right, then let's go to the next team here, and we've got, let's see, Moody, you're in. I know you're here. So this is how the team is looking like. Really wanting to hold Hughes this week. Depending on if Munster plays on my trades, really. If he doesn't, I will hold Jerome Hughes. So if Munster doesn't play, you'll hold Jerome Hughes and do trade set 1 with Jed as a cash out and a loophole player. If Munster does play, there's a high chance I do trade set 2 and make 2 trades this week, either Savage or McLean. And Ponga next week for Weeks and Drinky. I need to sell Fairlongo, but not sure if I should just leave him there or to rot. I mean, look, Pappenhausen has some issues, so I'm going to pop your comments up here too, man. So you get Turbo as your biased Manly fan. If you really want to do it, you can do it. I'm not a big Turbo fan. Let's have a look at these screenshots. So starting team's good. Yep, starting team's really clean. Very strong backline as well as the forward pack. Bench, you got good wing fullback depth. That's the first thing I'm looking for in most teams. Then you've got a few cash outs already, like Halasima, Fairlongo, so Sharp. Like you got a few duds already. So I wouldn't be trying to get a red dot, Jed Cartwright, personally. So that means that looking at this, Plath, Weeks, Drinkwater for Cartwright, Cleary, and Yo. If we replaced, let's see this other trade. Plath, Hughes, and Drinkwater. I hate selling Hughes and Drinkwater. I think they're good enough to keep in your team for Savage, Cleary, and Yo. So I don't like trade 2. I like the base of trade 1, but what I'm going to do is change it a little bit. Now, you are in a nice spot where you've got a little bit of cover, a few spots. I'm probably thinking that, that's a lot of pressure. Got to listen to my suggestions. Look, you don't have to go with mine, but I'm thinking for you need scorers, right? So I'm looking at your team and I'm a little bit concerned about Fairlongo, Hands, Halasima, and Sharp. So what I'm going to do here instead is Plath, Weeks, Drinkwater. I don't want to sell Drinkwater. I like the idea of getting Cleary for you. That's the key. So could we sell someone else instead of Drinkwater? Could we sell Ethan Strange, for example? Let's see how that works out. So Ethan Strange, what's his price at? Also, tell me if you don't mind Dylan Brown or not, because Dylan Brown might make this a better trade for you. So Ethan Strange is 526k. So that makes this a bit harder. Ponga next week is a good shout as well. Cleary and Yo is going to be a bit tricky for you, though, because you've got like Halasima is going to be on bye in round 27. You got a few red dots as well. Pappenhausen might get a rest, so Fairlongo might play that week. If I'm you, I'm probably rethinking these trades and I'm going Plath, Weeks, and Strange. So replacing Drinkwater with Strange instead, and then buying Cleary. Definitely like the Cleary buy. Then I want a player. So Casey McLean, Cleary, Casey McLean, and then I don't know if you can afford. I don't think you can afford Fogarty, so I think it's gonna have to be Dylan Brown. So Cleary, McLean, Dylan Brown in for Plath, Weeks, and Strange. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yo, that's the big one, right? So you want to get Cleary and Yo. Should get Yo. We can get Yo. It's just the problem is if we get Jed Cartwright, you're kind of stuffed because Halasima is not a real scorer. Hands is pretty dodgy. Fairlongo is pretty dodgy. Sharp is dodgy. If we then add Jed Cartwright to this, then the edge of your bench is a bit of a disaster. So I'd rather keep Drinkwater as well because he's a good scorer and just get those consistent guys. So Dylan Brown comes in. He's less likely to get a rest than Yo as well. Here we go. Fair shout. I was thinking Latu Fino, but he's playing 2 weeks. Yeah, it's not long enough. And by the time you need him, he'll be out of the team. So My advice here is, Plath, Weeks, and Strange out for Cleary, McLean or Savage, your call, McLean or Savage, and Dylan Brown. Do you not mind Dylan Brown? Do you like Dylan Brown as an option there? Because he's 600k. That's the key there. I'll just quickly wait for your answer there. Enough cash for Nathan Brown, Strange and Weeks to Yo, Cleary, and Dylan Brown. Stacked. That's great. Okay, you don't have to cash. So, yeah, you can sub RO in to get those players, those kind of players. I don't mind that. Then, can I shout out the absolute GOAT and best probable time? Georgie Rose. I actually played in uni games against George Rose. So played against him in OzTag, and he was pretty good. He's pretty crafty, very good ball player. So, yeah, what a guy. So, I don't mind Brown. Don't know his average or anything. Yeah, so Brown's average without Moses is 58.5. So, he's a little bit behind Isaiah Yo. Isaiah Yo is more like a 63. But 58.5, it's a really good average. He's not going to get a rest. He will play around 27, I would expect as well. So, I think that's your trades, right? So Plath, Weeks, and Strange out, and you buy Cleary, Dylan Brown, and Casey McLean or Xavier Savage. We'll chat later as well. So if you're happy with that, let me know. If you have other ideas, let me know too. Then, all right, so we've got some teams here. So these were the guys who, Ezra's first. Ezra's I can't remember what your team name was. But these are the teams who did well on TBC Live and won their way in to this too. Just really before I move on. So what about if I get another cheaper forward instead of Yo and get McLean or Savage instead of Cartwright? You could do that as well. Who are the options we'd look at? It's just, there's a big drop off, right? I think Dylan Brown is better than a lot of those cheaper forwards. That's the key. But you could definitely do that as well. We'll talk about options in the chat too. And getting Ponga next week is a good move. I like Ponga a lot. All right, let's move through. So Ezra, let's see. Good roster here. Liam Henry is a bit of a problem. Max Plath. Then we've got Cleary, Hughes, Farmworth, Tungo. Yeah, good back line. We're all good there. And no worries, Moody. Good to see you, mate. Then the bench is Howarth Pod. Love it. Howarth is a ballsy move. 4 trades left. Okay. Probably only wanting to use 2 trades. So what do we want to do? You've already got Cleary. You're in a good spot there. Middle forward spot is a little bit dodgy. Liam Henry is on a expiration clock. So he had massive scores through Origin. I think his scores are going to fade now. 636k. Okay, he's at a good price to sell. So I'm thinking we sell Liam Henry. Easy shout there. And then the other sell, maybe Toph Sipley, Aaron Clark, one of those guys. Probably, what's Clark been scoring lately? Like a 33 last week. He had some all right scores in there. Sipley is going to fade. So Sipley, 435k. Probably selling Sipley and Henry. So Sipley and Henry nets you about 1.1 million. Then let's call it 1.2 million with the extra money there. So with 1.2 million, easy shout is to go Cleary. You go Cleary, sorry. You probably need a middle forward. Yeah, you definitely need a middle forward. Okay, so your choice between Isaiah Yo or Payne Haas. I'm probably leaning towards Haas out of the two because you already have Cleary from Penrith who might get a rest. So let's go Payne Haas. Isaiah Yo will be solid though. Your choice, Payne Haas, Isaiah Yo. I'm leaning Payne Haas for you. So Payne Haas, and then you get someone cheaper. You're going to have about 400k in the bank to use. And for that cheaper option, you can go and get, Casey McLean, Xavier Savage, one of those guys. I'm thinking McLean because you already have Marzu on your bench as good cover. So get McLean, and you'll be solid there. So your trade outs are Sipley and Liam Henry. Your trade ins are either Yo or Haas, and then McLean. So you're clean. Then we'll talk about these later, but Tarpanay I don't view as a full-time gun, so probably not him. Longy, do I do Fogarty and Yo to Cleary or Dylan Brown? Cleary or Dylan Brown? if you could afford Fogarty, Yo, and Cleary, they're the better three. But Dylan Brown I'm using Dylan Brown because he's cheaper, right? So he's an option that we can look at as well. Yo getting a rest around 27. That's going to be the issue. Long do I go Fogarty and Yo to Cleary and Dylan Brown? Or Cleary and Dylan. Oh, sorry. Fogarty and Yo or Cleary and Dylan Brown? Probably Cleary and Dylan Brown. Cleary's the best player in fantasy. So that's where I'm leaning. All right, let's keep rolling through. So next one here. We've got a bunch of teams to do. So I'm going to pick up the speed and then we'll answer questions at the end. So King Gutho. And just let me know. Put a bunch of exclamation points for your team so I see the message. King Gutho, all right, stacked forward pack, really good. Halves are good, backline's clean. Penasini I don't like for the rest of the year without Moses. Then bench, Curran, Starling, Hamiso, Brayley, Blore, Walker, very deep bench. Okay, you got some stuff to work with here. Then for the trades, we're going Plath, Weeks, and Fainu out for Cleary, Curran, and Hamiso. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Hamiso as a buy. So Karaz, Garrick, and Campbell. Hamiso, is he your only backup at wing fullback? I guess he is. So maybe it's worth it for wing fullback backup. Look, these are really potty sort of trades. If I was going to run this team, I would consider holding Weeks and selling Brayley instead. And then I'm not super hyped on Hamiso personally. So you can do these trades. They're okay. They're like 7 out of 10 trades. So they're pretty solid. But the other option is you can go keep KO Weeks and ditch the Hamiso trade. And then you have a spare trade and maybe even save that trade, to be honest. If you save that trade, you could maybe go, actually, you don't really need Curran in the forwards as much as I thought. Your other option here is that you can actually get a much better player. So if we replace Weeks with someone else and we sell Brayley instead, of Weeks. So keep Weeks, sell Brayley. If we sell Brayley here, so Brayley and Fainu, so Plath, Fainu, and Brayley out, and we buy Cleary, we ditch these two. So we buy Cleary, and then Brayley's price is $461K. Okay, so sell Plath, Brayley, and Fainu. Buy Cleary, McLean, get McLean, it's cheapy, and then get a real gun. So then you'll have money to spare, and you can get Isaiah Yo. Or you got it Yo already. You can get Jamal Fogarty, right? So that's what I'd do. I would go Plath, Brayley, Fainu out, Cleary, Fogarty, and McLean in. Because I think these two, Curran and Hamiso, they're sort of middle ranges. I'd rather get a cheapie and a top gun. So that's my advice there. Then let's just see. Are you here? Whose team this is? I think it is. All right, cool. Awesome. Let's keep rolling through. So next team we got here. And we got some more new teams. That's cool. All right, 18 new teams. Bloody hell. Last chance, guys, by the way. So next 5 minutes, they'll probably cut off. Discord link is in the chat there. You just go to welcome newbies and you can be a part of Pimp My Team once you become a supporter of the Casual Athlete channel. So great spot. Big Man Wallace. I think this is Jack's team, Jack Wallace. I'm guessing. There's a Jack Wallace and there's a Liam Wallace that are around. So it's one of you two. So for Jack, I'm assuming it's you. Then we've got Grant Watson. Yeah, all right. Really good forward pack, good halves, good back line. Guys, what would you do, by the way? Have a look at this team. Let me know what you'd do. But really strong team across the board. The bench is very deep as well. You've got McLean already. I think this might be a post-trades team screenshot, I'm guessing. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So, right, okay. There's a few things I'd change here. And before I go into these trades here, I just want to answer this question because it popped up. Longy, why are you so high on Xavier Savage to cash out? I think Savage is a bit of a stud. So Savage with Fogarty averages like 35, 40 points. And without Fogarty, he averages like 15, 20 points. Like it's really low. So Fogarty being there and Weeks at fullback, there's plenty of chances for him to grab attacking stats. He's 290K. He won't get dropped. He has great job security. I just like the idea of that. The other thing is I think people need wing fullbacks right now, and I'm not liking the top guys. They have buys coming up soon. They're expensive, unreliable scorers. I'd rather get a cheapie like Xavier Savage as a fourth wing fullback, so you don't have to worry when Tedesco goes on a buy, when Turbo, Garrick go on a buy, all these sorts of guys. Reece Walsh, So you need that fourth wing fullback, and I think he's a really good option. And this is good advice here to rob a bank to get more guns. Savage over McLean is completely up to your team. So if your team needs wing fullback, do it. If your team needs center, get McLean. If you need both, I think McLean is the better scorer. All right. So for this team here, I wouldn't sell Jerome Hughes if I was you. I don't think you need to. So what are we going to do? I think Hughes to Galvin's a pretty average trade. So I'm going to remove that completely. So Hughes to Galvin, take that out. That means we're a little bit short on cash for these trades, which is okay because we can. Okay, so remove Hughes to Galvin, take that out completely. Hughes is the better scorer than Galvin, even when Munster comes back. And then Hands to McLean is good. Plath to Cleary is good. Terrell May to Payne Haas is one I'd probably rethink a bit as well. I would make another trade here. So instead of Terrell May to Payne Haas, because you're not going to be able to afford Payne Haas, you have to choose between these two players. Either get Terrell May to Fogarty or Terrell May to Isaiah Yeo. One of those two frees up the cash, and then you save a trade. Although you have 10 trades in the bank, so maybe you don't need to save the trade. Actually, no, if you have 10 trades, I'm not going to save a trade. So scrap that. Carl Lawton, by the way, he's actually going to be really good for the run home. So, and Harris Tavita, you've got some good cash outs here. What are we going to do then? Maybe leave your trades as they are and then replace. Okay, you can sell Hughes if you want. Sell Hughes. Don't buy Galvin. Buy Fogarty instead. Otherwise, and then that makes these trades really good. So I actually don't mind you selling. You have heaps of trades. Holding Hughes is only because we have no trades. So you have heaps of trades. Hughes to Fogarty, ditch Galvin, and the rest is good. I think that's your play. 10 trades left. You're absolutely stacked. You're in a good spot. All right, Luke, let's get to your team, man. So for Luke, Luke in the house. Let's see. So we've got Simkin, Fanua Blake, Plath, May, Fainu, Fafita. Okay, halves are a little dicey. Burton's a big pod. Marzu, we might have to cover that wing fullback as well. We've got Keeney. Okay, he plays wing fullback. We're good. Alamotti is definitely a sell. Dylan Lucas is a little dicey, but he has center eligibility now. So stick with him and see what happens. Then 4 trades, 395k. Probably don't want to use more than 2 trades, but you're a bit short on players this week. So you're probably about 1 player short. I'm going to use 2 trades for this team. I think Alamotti is the first one. I have no idea what Alamotti costs, which is funny. 443k for Alamotti. Okay. So 443k plus about 400k in the bank. So you're looking at about 830k. And then we could make one more trade. I think for you want the players who are scoring right now. So this might not be necessary. Look, to be honest, you could do Alamotti direct trade. Let's just make sure. 443 plus 395. So we're looking at 838. So yeah, you got the money for it. You could do Alamotti to Cleary and just leave it there. I actually don't mind that for you. If you do Alamotti to Cleary, that's a good trade. If you want to add one extra trade to beef up some cash and have an extra player, I don't mind the idea of going Hands is 397. McKaylee is 320. Okay, yeah. I'd probably go Hands to McLean. So Alamotti and Hands out, Cleary and McLean in, and you actually free up a bit of cash there as well. That's what I'd do for you, 100% Luke. So you're in a good spot. Then rolling through, I'll just quickly touch on this as well. So Jack, I think this is your team, eh? Yeah, Big Man Wallace, your loopholing question. So keep the loop as it is. Who plays first out of your team? So let's see. Just set up your loophole here while we're here. So Warriors, Tigers, Eels, Storm. Howarth is a good one to use for a loophole. Pappenhausen could be one to use for a loophole as well. Okay, here's what I would do. Do any other wing fullbacks? No, only the one. Okay. I'm probably thinking you've only got Marzu as a red dot, right? So I think the easy play for you is to just chuck. Oh, I guess you could do it with McLean as well. Warriors first. I would move Harris Tavita into this top spot right here, and then leave Marzu where he is. And you can see Harris Tavita's score in the first game, and you can choose between Harris Tavita's score or McLean's score, basically. So Harris Tavita in emergency 5, McLean in emergency 6, and wait and see what Harris Tavita scores. That's the advice there. Then, all right, next team. Let's keep rolling through. Let's get a bit of speed up. So Baden, head-to-head focus. Good to see you, man. So 9 trades left. You need a lot of trades for head-to-head, so that's a good move. 3 trade-out candidates, Plath, Fainu, and Kohler. Probably want to make max 2 trades this week. 100% buying Cleary this week, tossing up between bringing in AFB or Haas. Was originally planning on bringing in Haas and Watson after the buyers during finals, low on trades. Waiting to get a wing fullback in either 22 or 23. I think Ponga is the better option anyway, so I like that move. And then Piakura is likely going to sit in emergencies. Good call. Going to ride the blower train. Agree with that. And then 1 win guarantees you top 4, but likely get it based on matchups. Okay, so Plath, Fainu, and Kohler are probably your 3 sell options. Let's just look at the cash you got in the bank, and you're definitely getting Cleary. So you got, oh, mate, you're stacked. Okay, so we've got, is that 1.06 million? I think that 1.06 million might be after the Cleary trade. So you've got unlimited money basically to work with here. So, I mean, if I'm you, you've already got Yo. Your head-to-head focus. So round 27 doesn't matter. Payne Haas is going to miss one of those major finals rounds, right? And Payne Haas is better than Fanua Blake, but Fanua Blake could be the option here instead because he plays up till round 27. So if I'm you, I'm thinking about that. Jai Gray as a starter isn't ideal either. So maybe we don't even go in that direction because the other option is I really don't like Jai Gray in your starting team. So maybe you want a bit of half depth as well. So maybe instead of both those middle options, you got Carrigan, Cotter, and Yo already. Maybe we just go Fogarty instead. Save a bit of cash. He's quite a bit cheaper. And then we can make some upgrades in later weeks and get Ponga instead. So my advice here is I'm thinking Cleary and Fogarty could be the best option for you. If you want to go in a different direction, Haas having the buy in your finals is really bad, really bad. Whereas Adam Fanua Blake doesn't have that buy. Or you could get Mitch Barnett, but I like Fanua Blake better than Barnett at the price especially. So I'm thinking Adam Fanua Blake or Fogarty as the second guy here. I just think they're going to be really reliable. They're going to play all those head-to-head finals games. So that's my shout there. All right, let's keep rolling through. So JC2G, good to see you, man. So we've got Marnie, Cotter, Watson, Yo. All right, clean forward pack. Lukey on fire right now. Has a buy coming out pretty soon. Great halves pairing. Good backline, really strong. Then Grant, Starling, Galvin, Fainu, McLean, Weeks. Okay, this is a good bench. Don Edwards, you could hold or sell. It's up to you. Takamanu and Clark, I think they're good ones to sell for McLean and Cleary. That gets you this team. I honestly think you're pretty sweet here. So I think those are good trades. I think it strengthens your team. The one thing I would say here is let's just focus on the loophole. So with your loophole, first game of the round is Warriors and Tigers. So just chuck Fainu into that emergency 5 spot. And then if Fainu scores well, you can move Dylan Edwards into interchange 4 spot and you'll get Fainu's score. If Fainu scores badly, then you can play Casey McLean or KO Weeks or someone different instead. So that's the one thing I'd say. But other than that, I think you're clean. Then I'll go to these questions in a bit, guys. I'm just going to keep rolling through some of the teams because we've got a bunch of them to do. So for the next one, Titans winning the comp, the premiership. Got a strong forward pack. Fainu's a bit of a challenge. Then Cleary, Galvin, McLean, Iro, Keeney, Drinkwater, Wishart. Okay, we've got to think about Wishart at wing fullback, 100%. Starling, White, and Sorensen. Marzu comes into wing fullback next week, so that's good. You might be short a wing fullback this week, though. And we've got Madison, Plath, Olakawatu's there with the red dot. Considered trades here Moses and Weeks for Cleary and McLean. Okay, yeah, they're good trades. The one thing I would say here is I would sell, instead of selling Weeks, sell Wishart, because you need a wing fullback this week. So Marzu's out on a bye. Don't have any other wing fullbacks. And Wishart could be a late withdrawal with Munster named. So for you, the one piece of advice here is sell Wishart instead of selling Weeks. And if you want to sell Weeks as well, you could do that too. But I'd be just replacing Weeks with Wishart in this trade set and just doing exactly the same thing, keeping the cash for next week. Otherwise, you're looking pretty strong. All right, Siana. Let's see. Definitely wanting Cleary this week, but unsure on who else to trade in. Mostly players on my bench, guys. I wouldn't really want my starting 17 for the run home. I've left suggestions, leaning more towards Crichton trade, or could get Brown, then Cleary, and then go Fainu, Matto to Ponga, and then next week. What's your thoughts? I'll look at these trades. So let's see. Pretty good rank, 3,000s. It's a good spot to be in. You could definitely rise with this team. This is a strong roster that you're running in with. The bench is looking good as well. We obviously know what Pierre Crew is doing. So Weeks and Plath. I love it. You've got notes. All right, cool. Weeks and Plath to Cleary and or Crichton. Guys, if you want me to love doing your team review, add notes like this. I'm a big fan. I know it's your first week, but I love it, mate. Well, your second option here. Yes. Notes again. So Weeks and Plath and someone for Cleary, Brown, and Trindle. These are good trades too. So we got two options here. Let's see, Plath and Weeks. Let's see. So what I'm thinking here is two options. One, I find someone who's 330k plus and we stick with these trades because they're good trades. Or two, we replace Trindle with McLean and we trade someone else out. But let's just have a look. So 330k plus, not Weeks or Plath. Pierre is over 330, right? It's probably going to be him. Yeah, Pierre is 401. Sharp's cheap, but like Sharp can get in at some point. So yeah, I just plug Pierre into this trade. I think this is the play. The other option here, because these are good trades too. Just the issue is this does leave you low on trades if you use 3. That's the one worry I've got here. So maybe we stick with these trades. Yeah, I'm probably changing my mind here, actually. I think the first trades are better. So Yo might miss around 27, maybe. Crichton will miss around for a bye in about 3 weeks. You don't have too many red dots. You've got a couple. You've already got Watson. So your forward pack without Crichton and Watson is going to be pretty light. Very light, actually. I'm probably leaning towards this trade. So Weeks and Plath for Cleary and Yo. Leaves you with not much cash, but you got trades to use. So I think you're in a good spot. That's what I'd recommend there. Are you here? Let's see. I'll just answer a few questions here too. Longy out of Talau, Parps, and Cobbo, who should go. Talau has the buy coming up really soon, so probably him. So it'll be Cleary and Galvin. Yes. Then if I get Fogarty and Haas, I'll have nothing in the bank. Yeah, still worth it, 100%. Is it worth keeping Cobbo over Talau and Parp because I'm stacked in the backs and want us to go? Cobbo has dual position, which is nice. Maybe Pappenhausen's the one to sell, but Paps could score really well against Parrot this week. That's the issue. Thoughts on KPP to Haas, Strange to Cleary, and Nathan Brown to Savage. These are good trades. Yeah, these are really good trades. I like those. Connor Watson a buy. Yes, but the break even's pretty high, so you can wait a week, but he is definitely a buy. This is my team. I look like going Cleary and Brown this week, Ponga next week. I do like that as well. So I think with the previous team there, Ponga next week is a great shout. I'm targeting Ponga next week as well. Yo or Haas, if you had to choose, also, is Carrigan to one of them a good trade with 3 left? Carrigan to Yo or Haas is an upgrade. I'd rather sell someone else instead, but it's an okay trade. Cleary, Murray, or Fogg, Yo. Murray's dodgy, hey. Probably Fogg, Yo. Fogg, Yo, I'd say. Longy out of Talau, Paps, and Cobbo. We already talked about that one. And then is Fainu to Watson a good trade? Yeah, definitely a good trade. Which option is better? Cleary, Murray, or Fogg? Yeah, we talked about that one already. And Aitken, King, Arrow, or and Strange to Cleary, Fogarty, AFB, and McLean. Good trades. Yep, like those. And then Yo or Haas, you had to choose. If you're overall, Haas. If you're head-to-head, Yo is my advice there. All right, let's keep rolling through. So, we had a look at your team before. So yeah, we already went through yours, so we're clean. Stromsy. All right. Hey, bro, looking at doing Piakura to Ponga in round 23. Good move. All I need is him to drop about 7K next week against the Panthers and Piakura to make some cash. Straight swap to short. Could do Hayes, trade to Tango instead, which will give me that 10K and grab Ponga next week. After Ponga trade, most likely be hold for injuries. Let's see this team. So, good forward pack, very good forward pack, good halves, great backline, really good starting side. Then we've got Harry Grant, Madison, Galvin, Gray, Finu. Okay, that's cheap Finu, cheap Hayes. Okay, the edge of the bench is a worry for me because everything from Gray down is guys who could be a red dot any given week. So that's a bit of a concern. That makes me think that maybe we don't want to sell. I guess you got 5 trades left after this, right? So you're in a pretty good spot. Plath, Weeks, Finu, Pierce, Paul. For Cleary, Hayes, Finu, and Yo. And leaves you with the money for Ponga. What if we replaced Yo in this trade? So you've already got one middle forward backup, really, though. And he's also your edge back row backup. So you probably need Yo. This is a hard one. I think these trades are good, but 5 trades left, you're going to have to save a few trades. So to be honest, if you're buying Ponga next week and you do that in 1 trade, then you have 4 trades left and you're actually in a really good spot. So I'm okay with this, with the amount of trades you have, but I wouldn't advise this kind of trading for anyone who had less trades. So for you, good shout. I think it's a good move. These are good trades. But for anyone else who doesn't have 5 trades, don't do anything like this. It's pretty dangerous. All right, rule of vulture. Let's see. So rule of vulture, we've got Cook, Watson, Haas, Carrigan. Guys, we'll do a bunch of questions at the end as well. So I just want to get through some of the teams here. So forward pack's good. Halves are dodgy. Backline is good as well. So the halves are the problem here, which is great because we have a lot of halves we want to buy. Bench is pretty deep, pretty good. Potential trades, we've got 5 left. We've got 400K in the bank. Okay, this is a perfect position to be in. So 3 sells. Who are we selling? I'm thinking we sell Sam Walker. I think he's a dud. Then they got the buy coming up soon as well. And you already have Watson, Young, Walker. You know, you're going to have a few guys out that week, right? So sell Sam Walker, sell Max Plath, and sell Tolu Kola. And you'll have the money to buy 2 guns and a cheaper guy. So selling those 3. So Sam Walker, Max Plath, Tolu Kola out. Buy Nathan Cleary, Isaiah Yo, or Nathan Cleary, Jamal Fogarty, and McLean, I think, is a good option for you, or Xavier Savage. But you've already got Weeks here, so you don't need Savage. I'll probably go McLean. So just to recap, that's selling those 3 and buying Cleary, Yo, or Fogarty, your call, and then McLean. All right, then we got the new people. So let's get into the newbies. Classine, you in the house, man? So, hey, Long, you got a bunch of deadwood right now. Don't know whether to go hold or full send. Advice needed, please. Let's see this team. So, 3,800 is your rank. By the way, guys, still not too late. We're just getting towards the end, but last call for if you do want to be in this, it's just a link there. You go into Welcome Newbies in the Discord channel, and it'll tell you how to attack this. And Sam Classine. Is it Classine or Classen? Let me know how to pronounce it. Make sure I get it right. But Good to see you, man. Welcome to the show. So this team is pretty mean. This is a pretty mean roster. Backline's pretty explosive. Halves are good. Forward pack has a lot of upside. It's been very good through the bye period. Not a lot of Damien Cook teams I'm seeing, and you're in a good spot there. Connor Watson on the bench. Okay, yeah. You're just flexing now. You're just flexing now with Connor Watson on the bench. Penasini is a bit of a problem without Moses, I will point out. Sipley, the minute's going to fade there as well. Wishart has a bit of a monster problem. That's okay. We want a few problems because we want problems to solve. 8 trades left is a great spot to be in. So we can basically do what we want here. So I'm thinking we use 3 trades. We keep 5. Now, with 3 trades used, 40, not a lot of money in the bank. That's okay. We're probably going to sell Wishart and Plath, which gives us about 1.3 million. And then what does Penasini cost? Let's see. About 600K. So about 1.9 million we got to play with. So with 1.9 million, we can't get 3 guns, but we can get 2 guns. And because you have so many trades in the bank, you're going to be okay. Like you can not worry too much about the depth, that sort of thing as well. So let's do that. The other option is we can sell Sipley instead of Penasini. I'm actually considering that now instead. Or we could hold Plath. So what would that do? So if we had Sipley at about 400K, Penasini 600, so that's about 1.7 million total. For 1.7 million. Oh, that could be an option as well. All right, 2 options here for you, man. I'm going to throw them out there. First option is, and make sure you write these down, or you can just record. You can watch it later. First option is you sell Wishart, Penasini, and Sipley. Right? Wishart, Penasini, and Sipley. And you buy Nathan Cleary, Dylan Brown, and Casey McLean. That's one option there. That's the cheaper option. You keep Plath and you hope that he holds out. Could be a play. The second option is that you sell Plath, Wishart, and Penasini, and you buy those same players. So that can be an option there too. But instead of doing that, you sell Plath, Wishart, Penasini, or Plath, Wishart, Sipley. Probably Sipley more than Penasini. And you buy Cleary, Fogarty, because you're already strong at wing fullback. So Cleary, Fogarty, and McLean. I still think McLean is the option for you. That's probably where I'm leaning for you right now. I think that's probably the better play, but the first option is a good shout too. Interesting, Kieran, good feedback as well. So halves are really decent. Hughes and Galvin. I still think it's worth getting Cleary. That's the key. So Cleary is that captain option that you can carry for the run home, and it's always good to have a spare half as well. All right, you're thinking Penasini can go, yeah, fair shout. If you can work that trade with Wishart, Penasini, and Sipley out, then you lose basically nothing from your bench, and you get Cleary, and you get Dylan Brown, then you get Casey McLean. That's the play for you. I think that's the best trade that you can do. And 5 trades left. You're actually in such a good position. Like I'm looking at your team, and if you play it right, 3,800 right now, I think you could be in the top 1,000 by the end of the year, maybe even the top 500. You've got to play it right with those trades because 5 trades left after the big trades you're going to make this week. You're in a great spot. All right, let's keep rolling through. Murray. Let's see Murray's team. Oh, this is a big screenshot. Okay, the computer. Overall rank number 8. Oh, my guy. Whew. The 8th rank. Okay, Murray, where are you, mate? Call yourself out. Pop a message in the chat. So 8th rank. We got 5 trades left. I feel a bit nervous giving you advice because you're in such a good position. How far behind first place are you? That's my first question. So forward pack looks good. Marnie, let's go deep in this one here because we got the 8th place. You know, we're a bit nervous. We got Cleary already as well. We've got Farmworth, Iro, Campbell, Carraz, Tedesco. Then Kolomatangi on the bench is rock solid. Okay, awesome. Wishart, Plath, we can do some things with. Then Marzu, I'd keep Marzu if I was you. Then Madison, Gray, Fainu, Mamazelis. Good little cash out, Mamazelis. I will say that. So he should get some run on the run home. Yeah, he's a nice one to have. So again, if I'm you, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking Wishart is a guy I'm going to sell 100%. And then who else can I sell that doesn't have value? Your call between Plath or Fainu. Now, because you're in 8th place, do what has been getting you up the ladder this year, right? So that my first piece of advice is if I say something and it goes against the way you play it your way. right? Because the way you're playing is working. But what I'm going to say, because I'm ranked 200, I'm not ranked 8th. What I'd say is Wishart. I'd probably be selling Wishart and Finu. I'm thinking selling Wishart and Finu. I think holding Plath for you is a decent option because Plath could bounce back and could come back to some relevance. So if you sold Wishart and Finu, you would have about 1.1, 1.2 million-ish with the cash as well, maybe 1.25 million. 1.25 million is enough here for you then to then get pretty much whatever you want here. You're playing for the end game. So I do like Isaiah Yeo because he had that rest. I think he's a good option. I like Fogarty as well. If I'm you, I'm probably thinking a lot about round 27 because round 27, other people could really stuff up. And you're only, here we go. Ollie, thanks for that, man. So he's only at 150 points behind Aussie Frost King, who we have here all the time as well. What a legend. So maybe I don't want to help you. No, we'll help. I'm thinking you really think about round 27. So I'm a bit nervous about buying Yo if I'm you, because round 27 is going to be tricky. There's already AFB on a bye that week. You'll have Cleary probably not playing that week. If you get Isaiah Yo, he probably doesn't play that week either. So if I'm you, I'm thinking about going Wishart and Finu to Fogarty and McLean. McLean won't get a rest. It'll free up some cash for you. So it'll free up a little bit of cash. I think Finu is not good enough to be in your team anyway. And you've already got Madison there who kind of covers that role. And then Fogarty is a guy who's pumping out that sort of 60 average too. So if I'm you, I'm going Wishart, Finu, Fogarty, McLean. I think your team is very strong though. So I don't think you need to go too crazy. The other thing you could look at is Starling, but I don't know. At the price he's at, there's a bit of risk to him that people aren't acknowledging. And I think he may be a bit too expensive. You could anti-pod him as well because he could burn people on the run home too. So that's the trades I'm thinking for you. So Finu and Wishart out, Fogarty and McLean in is probably what I'd be doing for you. But let me know. Shoot me a message anyway, because you're in a good spot. You're obviously in the channels now. So guys, you can see just on the side there, the trade chat, level 1. You get access to that too. So we can chat during the week. So I give ideas here, but we can also chat over the week and the weekend. So that's easy. All right, let's keep rolling through. Dusko. Dusko's back. Dusko, good to see you, mate. So let's see this team. All right, Grant, Haas, Yo, Kolomatangi, great forward pack. Barnett as captain, Mad Dog moves. Then we got Plath, Galvin, Tungo, White. Okay, gets a bit weaker down the back, but some good players in the wing fullback spot. Bench is really good as well. Yeah, a lot of players on the bench. Some guys we can trade. Okay. I need to know how many trades you got. So let's see this. So teams in shambles. Head-to-head team. 8-man league. We pulled finals forward. So finals around 23 and 24. Not stressed on 4 trades left. 2K in the bank. Need a backup hooker and Def's getting Cleary and Fog possibly. Okay, round 23, round 24. So 21 is a Knights buy. 22 is a Manly buy. 23 is the Roosters buy. And 24 is the Broncos buy. So they're your finals for head-to-head, which means I'm not advising you get any Roosters or Broncos. So that rules out, by the way, you don't have to sell the ones you have. I'm just saying don't buy them. So that rules out Connor Watson. That rules out Genghis Crichton. That means we don't have to worry too much about the Penrith guys as well. So with 4 trades left, depends how you're going head-to-head. I would really be targeting, it's hard to know without the cash as well, but I'd probably be targeting trying to get Cleary. So Wishart to Cleary is a really easy trade for you. And then if you can afford it, I don't know what cash you have, right? If you can afford it, Kai Pierce-Paul to Fogarty is a great trade as well. So if you bump those 2 up to Cleary and Fogarty, then you then really strengthen your side. It just upgrades your side massively. And I don't think you need to do too much more than that. If you need to get a cheapie, I'm a big fan of Casey McLean for you as well. So it's a good option there too. All right, keep rolling through. Dez is up next. All right, so Dez, oh, mate, this is a very little screenshot. Okay, I'll read it out to you guys. So Cook, Yo, Cotter, Watson, Feeder, Sorensen, and then we've got Galvin, Cleary, Talau, the GOAT, Tungo, Keeney, Trbojevic, Marzu won't play, Starling, Harris Tavita, Hands, Tungo. Okay, a little bit shallow on the edge of the bench. I'm thinking that you probably 26K in the bank, 8 trades, probably make a couple of trades here. You need a wing fullback right now. I don't trust Jake Tungo. And you need, so you want those bench spots filled as well, maybe 2. I'm thinking for you, we sell Max King, we sell Tolu Kola, and we sell Brandon Hands. What does Cole cost? Oh, we sell Cole instead. Okay. So, all right, we sell Max King, Cole, and Hands, right? So King, Cole, and Hands is going to get us about 1.5 million for you. Then you've got Cleary already. So I think for 1.5 million for you, I'm just trying to get some players who score, really. That's the big thing because you're a little bit shallow in your roster. So for 1.5 million, I'm thinking we go Dylan Brown. That gets us down to 900K. And then we go, I don't mind Trindle for you. So Trindle, that gets us to 400K. And then maybe a guy like McLean. So Dylan Brown, Trindle, and McLean. You could replace Dylan Brown with Fogarty if you want to as well. So Fogarty, Trindle, and McLean is an option there too. But I think you're in a clean spot there. Yeah, Cole is an option to sell as well, but I think that's the play. So love the help last week. Not sure if I'd trade this week. I think definitely trade this week. 8 trades left are really good. Just want to make those moves to get the stronger team. Thought Dylan Brown could be a good pickup. Okay, we're thinking the same thing. So yeah, make that move. Starboy head-to-head focused, only looking to use 2 trades this week because I have a plan to hold off on trading next week. So I can make 2-man trades around 23, 25, 26, which is crucial for my head-to-head playoffs. Okay. So you use 2 trades this week. And you're head-to-head focused. So this team is clean, a lot of green dots, looking strong. Hines and Wishart, Cleary and Yo. Yeah, you're head-to-head. They're awesome. They'll miss round 27. That doesn't affect you in head-to-head. So I actually think that's just perfect trades. What are we going to do in terms of loophole is the other question. So again, Warriors and Tigers play that first game. Let's see what you can do here with Warriors and Tigers. All right, move Isaiah Yo into your starting team. Bring Samuel Afino back onto your bench. And then put Samuel Afino in the Pia Kura spot. And if Samuel Afino scores well, you can take his score by moving Pia Kura into the starting team. That's what I do. You can do a deeper loophole because you have 2 players as well. So you could potentially use, let's see, Broncos play early. Potentially use maybe one of your centers in that loophole as well. You can go a bit deeper too. So but we'll chat too because you're green. So you can see he's green. He actually gets into the level 3 gun society. So I'll tag you over there and we can have a chat there too. Magical Pugilist. All right, let's see this team. And guys, let me know if you're in here as well because if you're in here, I'll chat to you about your team too. So Ruben's Ramblers, I did see you before, Ruben, actually. So let's see this team. Starling, May, Watson, Curran. We've got Blore, Trebojevic. Oh, here we go. That's me, Ruben. Yeah, good to see him and get the same display picture. Then yeah, Burbo is a bit dodgy right now. Olakuatu obviously helps him a little bit, but he's going to fade. Then Galvin, Cleary. Okay, then Herbie, Talau, Wishart. Okay, Dylan Brown, Gray, Martin. Okay, there's a lot of things we can move with here. For trades, we're looking at Brimson, Strange, and Finer to De Silva, Cleary, and Blore. Okay, and there are your trades there. That's cool. I think these are pretty good trades. The change I would make here is so Cleary and Blore, decent enough. 5K in the bank, you don't have a lot of money. Blore with Munster back could be a beast, so I don't mind this trade. But Finer is not that bad either. So Brimson out and Strange out is good. McLean in, I would replace De Silva with McLean, and Cleary in is good. So make those 2 trades. And then Finer for Blore, I think you don't need to do it. So Blore is a slight upgrade on Finer. He's definitely an upgrade, but he's not a big upgrade. And I'm looking at team. There are other moves I'd rather save for. The other thing is Wishart probably doesn't play this week. So you got to be ready for that. You might need to sell Wishart instead. Do you have a wing fullback to use? You have Talau here. Do you have a center we can bring in? Alamotti is a bit of an issue. Burbo can go to center. Okay. So what I want to do, if I'm you, right, and yeah, hear me out. So What I want you to do is I want you to move, because I like the trades, right? But move Talau into wing fullback and move Wishart onto your bench. Now your center spot is empty, so you're going to have to move Burbo into center. And that means your edge back row spot is empty, so you're going to have to move Curran into the edge back row spot. So that means your middle spot is empty, so you're going to have to move one of these guys here, like a Plath, into the middle spot. So yeah, just repeat that quickly. Plath into the middle, Curran into the edge, Burbo into center, and Talau into wing, and then Wishart to the bench. Wishart, I'm probably thinking you need to sell. So you're going to know, and the team, if you go to the NRL app an hour before kickoff and go into the team lists of the game, so Storm versus Eels, you can see if Wishart's in, but Munster's probably going to be back for that game. So if I'm you, I'm probably selling Wishart instead of Fainu, right? So keep Fainu, sell Wishart. If you sell Wishart, then that means you've got 24K, pretty much 10, maybe 34K, 40K. You've got about 700K to use on a trade. In that case, this is strange. 20. In that case, I'd probably say keep Strange as well. So keep Strange. Actually, I'm scrapping the trades. We're making a complete change. So Brimson, sell Brimson. I'm going to write this down. Sell Brimson. I want to sell Smoothie and Wishart. I'm going to send in the chat. Buy Cleary, McLean, and then got about 600K. Cleary, McLean, and who else do I like for you? I actually think for your team, you could use this. So Cleary, McLean, and I think we go with Trindle. All right, so let's put it in the chat there because it was just a big change. So selling Brimson, Smoothie, and Wishart, and buy Cleary, McLean, and Trindle. That's what I'm thinking for you. It'll free up a bit of cash as well. You want those reliable scorers, that's the thing, because Smoothie, he's done. He's done for. He doesn't get the minutes. De Silva won't get the role long term, whereas McLean will. And I think you're set. If you do those, you're in a good spot for your head-to-head finals as well. And no worries, Ruben. No worries at all. Welcome to the show, mate. So Brian up next. Head-to-head team, round 26 grand final. Good. Your league commissioner is solid. 8 trades. Really tossing up which way I should get Cleary. You use 2 trades to get Cleary and basically red dot. Dots, or could use 3 trades for Cleary and 2 solid scoring cash outs. I think Cleary is a good move. So let's see the team. All right, team is looking strong. Yeah, team looks good across the board. You got Walsh already as well. Hughes start. Oh man, this is a dream team. This is a dream team, mate. You are stacked. Okay, 8 trades. We got Strange and Finer. Great sells for Cleary and Hayes. Good enough. Or Strange, Finer, Talangi for Cleary, McLean, and Howarth. Let's see. So, is there anyone else I'd rather sell for you? I think you've picked the right guys to sell. Yeah, this is a really good team. You rank 16,000, but this is a team that is going to go on a run, I think. This is a really good roster. What do I like better? You got a lot of trades. That's the key, right? You got a lot of trades to use. I think for you, I don't think you have to be too worried about getting a red dot. So I actually don't mind the idea of going with Hayes or Hayes is a bit dodge. I would rather Halasima over Hayes, but it's purely just preference, right? So here we go. 8 Brian, that's you. And that's right, Reuben. Treat me like gospel. Hopefully my advice works. So 8 Brian, yeah, good to see you, man. I think for you, this is the better trade of the two. I think getting Cleary is a good move for you, 100%. Hayes versus Halasima is the question. Look, the Dogs have a lot of problems with injuries right now, so maybe Hayes would be better. Let me just check his recent numbers, because that 29 points is pretty good. 31 minutes, 26 tackles, 78 meters. Maybe stick with Hayes, yeah. Stick with the trades. Your trades are good. Halasima is the other option, but I think Hayes is good as well. Latu, I don't like as much. So Halasima and Hayes are more likely to hold into the team, whereas Latu, it's like a 2 week thing. He might score well, but you don't need them to score the next 2 weeks. For you, I'm thinking ahead and I'm thinking, all right, this is a good roster. What are you going to need in round 26, 27? Round 26 grand final, for example. Latu is not going to help you. So I think that's the play. You're in a good spot there. All right, let's see Jack Blue. So this just quickly here, head-to-head grand final round 27. So most leagues, and if they watch my guide on how to set up a league in the preseason, then most leagues would have finals around 23, 24, 25, 26, and would ignore round 27 altogether. So 27 is a rough one. Aussie Frost King, mate, the big rank, the big head honcho. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Shoot me a DM on Slack, by the way. You're in a great spot, so I'm always keen to chat about your team as well. And no worries, Brian. Happy to help 100%, man. So, Jack Blue, let's get into this team here. What do we got? We got great forward pack. Really good forward pack. Amazing halves. Great centers. Great backline. Pappenhausen's a little dicey, but he's got Parramatta this week, so he could score 100. The bench is very deep. This is a roster. Weeks, Plath, Fainu, Coruscant for Cleary, McLean, Yeo, and Fogarty. Look, I don't desperately want to sell Weeks, Fainu, Coruscant, these sorts of guys, but the players you're buying, Cleary, Yeo, and Fogarty, and McLean, perfection. Great trades. I think keeping Terrell May is a good move for you as well. Is there anyone else I want to sell for you? Ideally, if you could sell Sipley, that'd be pretty cool. But it's going to be a bit harder to make that work. So, what's going on here? I've got a little computer issue. One sec, guys.